Oh, wow. Wrong stream?
I'm in the chat, and please, you're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard. You've been holding back on me. I'm going up like Hakeem. Funko Pop, shout out. Come on. That's unfiltered. The truth about oysters. Give it to him. So I did that. Yup, I did. R&B, baby. He delivers. Get your popcorn ready. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Testing the game.
Cheers. No BS, OBS. Camera zoomed in, and the chat is lit. Stay tuned in, like Zach Morris. I got detention, like the cool kids. I do's this, homie. I thought you knew this. If you didn't, now you do. I had to prove it. Thanks for watching. What's everybody's favorite topic? Leave a comment in the chat and refrain from gossip. Stop it. If you hating, there's no debating. Promise. I'm going up like Hakeem. I can't wait to block it. Nah, dog, cause this a party. Get your popcorn ready. We about to get it started. I'm super grateful. Thank you all for being with me. How we looking? Am I good?
Sitting pretty.
I'm elated that y'all would take time to kick it with me, cause I ain't famous, so I'm grateful for the subs you give in. Shout out to Shadow. I know my guy is always listening, and I appreciate the bits. Fire emoji pimpin'. Let's get it. I'ma give you what you came to see. Please hit the follow button. We can proceed. R&B, Child's High, class of 03. Shout out to everybody back home and all of y'all that's in the stream. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Bang. Chill. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So much love in the chat. And how about that cameo? Hope you enjoyed that. How cool that we had the opportunity to have Shadow say hello. Thank you to him.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of y'all for being here and for your patience. We had to take a week off, and for good reason. Maybe 2 weeks, as a matter of fact. Shadow had the privilege of visiting me here in Norway. How cool was that? And that's how we were able to pull that off. Pause. Got some love in the chat going on, so I gotta acknowledge the diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with your boy.
Got a Superman band that I scored from Shaq with an old school cat.
I said there's diamonds in the chat. Yeah, so many diamonds, VIPs. We got moderators and artist contributors. Thank you to all of y'all. And Shadow's hit me with the Billie Jeans. Let's go and do it for him then, pimp.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all heard that. If anything's going wrong, please let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back to Shadow's autumn adventure in just a second, but I do want to take an opportunity. Thank you, AeroRising, for acknowledging. We have a theme on this channel, in this community, and the theme is Sheldon Cooper says it best. Go on and tell him.
You just keep getting better and better.
That's right. That's the motto, and the goal is to do just that. So we spend a lot of time figuring out new ways to improve the stream. I hope you noticed and enjoyed the new stinger or transition. It's a graffiti paint canister. I think that's pretty cool. Hope you dig it. And there's a few other Easter eggs throughout the stream today. Maybe you can spot a couple right now. Maybe you'll spot them as the episode goes on. Hand claps. All right, I got to start reading the chat. Ant says, don't think I haven't noticed the background. I like this background. Thank you so much. See? Come on, baby. He also says, if Bob Ross was still alive, my man. So it's a theme. You know, what I try to do with the background wallpapers is theme it according to whatever thumbnails that I create. I don't know if any of you see those thumbnails that I post to YouTube and the Twitch channel. It's basically the VOD or the recording. But a lot of effort goes into that as well. And so the wallpaper is themed usually based on whatever image I chose. But I'm glad you dig it. Hand claps. Bob Ross's son, Rob. Is that really his son's name? It might be. All right, so a lot of Easter eggs I mentioned throughout the course. We'll talk more about them as anyone points them out or as we might come across them. All right, more to come. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to give an acknowledgement. Shadow, outside of my parents, and hand claps for them, okay? They were the first family members to come on out to Norway. But Shadow made his way across that pond, and I hope you had a wonderful time, man. Bang, I'm proud of you for coming. Pause. And I think you're next, dog. We'll see, all right? But I did want to show this. Ladies and gentlemen, Shadow's Adventure. Hand claps, huh? Look at that. We had the opportunity to go hiking. My guy went on a few mountains. I showed him around Tromsø. We actually went out one evening. And if you don't know him, that's Guillaume. That's my homie Guillaume, our homie now. And he sometimes makes an appearance in the stream. And so I thought that was an appropriate photo. He took great care of us. And we actually, Shadow be better off telling you, but I don't know, the next time he'll have the opportunity. And says, go on and face swap me with Guillaume. All right. I ain't mad at you. Great pick. Thank you. No, Guillaume is that guy. And what I mean to say is that he's an adventurer type. And so, you know, he packed lunch. We had these bags that it's basically dehydrated stew. And you pour boiling water into it. And it was actually pretty effing good. Next time we do a stream, I might have to get a sponsorship from that. Shadow got some great photos. I hope you've seen his Instagram posts as well as a couple of mine just to take a look at the scenery. But I was so happy to have you out, bro, and I hope you had a fantastic time. Love you, man. Aww. All right. Now, I also have a semi-important announcement. Hold on. Ant says, reason why he's not wearing a beanie, he wanted us to see his hair. You ain't never lied. Matter of fact, he won't mind me telling this story. This is true. I don't know if I've ever told y'all this. So this is how I met Guillaume, or affectionately, I refer to him as Big G, okay? It was in the gym, and my guy had luxurious hair, all right? I mean, he was training, working out. You see the same people all the time. And at the time, his hair was a bit longer than what you just saw in that photo. And I hadn't found like a hair product in Norway yet. And so I thought, well, if anybody's going to know, it's going to be this guy. So I just walk up to him in the gym. I'm like, hey, man, listen, don't take this the wrong way, bro. But your hair is beautiful, dog. How the hell? And from that moment on, we became the best of friends, and we trained together all the time. Aww. Shout out to you, Big G. Bang. I hope you get to see this, man. But anyway, he does. He has a great head of hair. Shout out to Guillaume. And we laugh about that all the time. I give him shit for it. Ant says, and from that moment, we became lovers. Not quite. So, semi-important announcement. Y'all ready? This is a semi-important announcement. Not really, but watch this. One of the things that we try to do, in addition to making these streams better and better, is that ultimately, we want to grow the community. And so Shadow and I have had many a conversation, and so too have many of y'all in the chat. One, I think we got to be more consistent, but even more importantly, perhaps we have to stream more often. And yet the struggle is that I want to put a show on that's entertaining and fun. And, you know, there's only so many segments in the world that we can come up with. And one of the reasons why we do the live reading is to have something. Because once upon a time, I retired from the world of gaming. Okay? This is a self-imposed retirement. But basically, I just backed away from it. I've stopped playing online games and just, you know, we do live streaming and music and work and working out and whatever. But Shadow, he wants me to get back into the world, and so we shall. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very long way of saying that I think what you're going to see in the upcoming days and perhaps weeks are a few more streams of gaming segments. All right, now I hope I don't lose some of you on that front. My ultimate hope is that I garner new audiences that might come over to this show. And not for nothing, I say that a lot. The category on Twitch that we've been using is just chatting, because I thought that was the most appropriate one. As it turns out, there is another category called talk shows and podcasts. And today we're trying that out. We're trying out talk shows and podcasts because I think that more accurately reflects this show. See, just chatting is sometimes it's a break. intermediary time frame between game streams for other streamers. Other times it's literally just people talking and not necessarily a show lineup as we try to host on this channel. So we're gonna see if that category brings in any new audiences. And watch this. This is a huge fail. You've had gloves this whole time? Yeah, we're in the Rockies. What I mean to say is there's actually another channel called Reading Aloud, all right? And I didn't know that. I stumbled upon it accidentally. And so what we are going to try today for the first time is during the Witcher live reading, we're gonna try to change the stream category on the fly, because naturally people that would be interested in that sort of thing would be in that category, right? Duh. Okay? So that's the hope and that's the goal. And going back to the other thing, there's an online game that we're gonna try. And honestly, to get this game to work, you have no idea. So some titles, some games are platform exclusive. As it turns out, this particular title is cross-platform. And what that means is that you can use a PC or PC specifically, because that's the point of this, or you can use a PS5 or an Xbox. Now, I don't own a PS5, shame on me, but I retired, remember? What you can't use, apparently, is a Mac. What the hell? So, in order to get the game to even work, I have to use like a cloud service. Basically, I'm logging into like a cloud computer that's it's way more than you bargained for. I'm not gonna get into all that. In fact, Shadow and I recorded our beta test, and it is now on YouTube, and you can check that out later on. If you want to see the struggles of getting these games to work, it's a cute little 40-minute clip, but it's fun. So this is what the game is called. This is just a teaser, just a preview. It's called Throne and Liberty. And that's what it looks like. So it's an MMO, or a massive multi-online role-playing game, if you will. It's actually produced by, and I wrote this down, NCSoft and Amazon Games. Turn off the reverb. So shout out to Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch. There's some affinity there. But I've seen a lot of gameplay in the last few weeks. Shadow introduced it to me one time for him. Shout out to the homies, Ricky Bobby, if you ever see this. And look, we're doing this for a couple of reasons. One, I do miss gaming because of the hangout aspect. You know what I mean? You were doing something productive with the homies. They're in Florida and California for that matter. Shout out to my big bro. And in other places. And so I just miss hanging out, kind of, sort of, and doing something fun while we're hanging out. But I'm also hoping that people that might tune in to that live, I can plug this show, and get them to tune in on Saturday mornings, okay? That's what we're really trying to accomplish. So Throne and Liberty, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for that, though, because if you want to see your boy stream more and you're into fun stuff, there you go. All right, bang, and we're moving on. Something else I did last week, that's why we didn't stream last week. Instead, I focused some time and energy into working on my other love, which is that of music. Hopester! Welcome to the show, girl. We got diamonds in the chat.
Got a Superman band that I scored from Shaq with an old school caddy.
Because there's diamonds in the chat. Yeah. Hope, you are a VIP, girl. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. So yeah, last Saturday, instead of doing the live stream, frankly, you know how it is. You got to recharge when you're going back to work. You just had a guest for a week and a half, you know. And frankly, sometimes I got to dedicate the time and energy into doing the music thing. And so this is what we do. We recorded a record, and I'm happy to promote it here this morning. And it is called Kiss Goodbye. And it is available exclusively on SoundCloud. So check that out. If you dig it, let me know. Some of you, most of you, I think, have already heard it. You all are the fan bam, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Far too
And I've got a little snippet here for you in case you haven't heard it yet. This is just a preview of what it sounds like. Peep this.
I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, but I understand. I'm going home, Peter Pan is leaving Neverland. You'll be alright, Tinkerbell. Stand by your man. Captain Hook with the no look, with my other hand. I'm not a bad guy, man. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing, I'm a decent person. For what it's worth, I'm really sorry for the trouble, dog. I should've walked away a long time ago and just cut her off. I couldn't.
All right, so that is R&B's new joint, Kiss Goodbye, out now on the SoundCloud. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you. Far too kind.
And shout out to Lloyd one time. Dang, appreciate you being here, bro. Welcome to the show, man. Hope you dig it. Stay tuned. I gotta make the announcement because if I don't do it now, I might lose some folks, okay? Since we started season 2, you heard me right? Season 2 of Testing the Game, we have been giving away money. That's right. And so all you have to do is stick around because at the end of this episode, we are going to continue to give away some money with our keyword giveaway contest. And you don't have to do anything to be eligible to win. You just have to be present, and then you have to type the keyword that I give you in the chat. And that's it. That's it. And I want to give an acknowledgement. This was the last time we ran the contest. Shout out to GunnArmy one time. He was our winner, so there you go. Shout out to GunnArmy. And so the theme of the contest is you can take the money or you can double it up and we'll give it to the next winner. And so GunnArmy said, let it ride. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this is significant. I mean, we're getting close to triple digits. Today, you will be playing for $64. All right? $64. So, if you're still here, you can play the keyword giveaway. If you win, you can take that $64, in which case I will PayPal you today. Or you let it ride, we double it up, and we see what happens next week. All right? Cool? Cool. So stick around for that. Thank you all so much. The idea is that I want to put some stake in the game. You're spending your morning with me or your afternoon, depending on where you are. And why shouldn't I give back to y'all? Right? R&B cares. He loves. All right. So, where were we in the show? Well, we have a segment that we like, and in the last several episodes, we have been... I don't know how to put this exactly. What I have been giving y'all is the origin of popular words and phrases. The segment is entitled Put You on the Game because that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you about something maybe you didn't know, or maybe you did. So R&B, putting you on the game, hit me with that theme music. So put you on the game. Now, I've got a word for you today. All right, we're gonna in keeping with that theme, but it's an easier one. Sometimes the words or phrases have been a bit, who knows, a little more challenging to get. In fact, I was challenged, and that's how the segment evolved over time. So thank you for those of you that reached out offline, who provided me with some additional intel. Originally, I was getting all my source material from TikTok, okay? And what we've learned is TikTok is not necessarily to be trusted. So there you go. Go figure. So I'm doing a little bit more due diligence these days. So, Chucha Barber, shout out to you, girl. Chucha suggested that rather than me just telling you the origin or the etymology of these words and phrases, we let the chat guess because that's more fun. Of course it is. And so that's what we're gonna do today. Now, it is an easier one. So, and you don't get any prizes or points for getting this correct. It's just fun. All right, it's just fun. No, Shadow. Lurking already, man. Sorry, dude. I know you're working, man. I appreciate you. Shadow was like, well, I got my cameo and I got my shout out. I'm gone. Thanks for being here, bro. Come on back whenever you're ready, all right? So, without further ado, putting you on the game, today's word, it's not a phrase, it's just a word. Again, I said that it would be easier today. Y'all ready? Give me that drum roll one more time. Today's word is freelancer. Freelancer. So I want to take a moment in the chat to see if anybody has any guesses as to the etymology of this word. Why is it that we use the word? And I thought it might be helpful to put the definition for anybody that was less familiar, though it's an easy one, right? So according to this definition on screen, a freelancer is an independent contractor. or plural, who is hired by individuals and companies to provide a service. All right, I think we all kind of know what a freelancer is or what is considered in today's modern vernacular. But I'm asking you all, where do you think this word comes from? Or how did we get to it? Why do we call it a freelance? AeroRising says, it's a lance, hello! Good on you, baby, bang. Chucha says, a person that takes up the sword without being hired. Congratulations to both of you. We've got some smarty-arties in the chat, but of course we do. Look at Hope, a knight on his horse for hire, bang. Well, you all are absolutely correct, all right? So shout out to you. I told you it was gonna be an easier one today. I mean, look, I'm doing a lot behind the scenes. I was scrambling, I was like, freelance, that sounds, I don't even remember how I came up with it. But you're gonna get the whole definition. Are you ready? Okay. So, according to the research that I did, and again, I try to do my due diligence. Let's get it out the way. You're all absolutely correct. Yes, you are. According to what I referenced, the term freelance is often attributed. There you go. Well done. Well done. I don't know how that applies, but I like it. The term freelance is often attributed to Sir Walter Scott's 1819 novel, Ivanhoe. I'm sure there's a joke to be made there. But the term first appeared in 1809 in The Life and Times of Hugh Miller by Thomas N. Brown. So there's your backstory. That's how we got here, and that's what's credited as far as the first time this word gets used. All right, but here we go. The term originally referred to medieval mercenaries or freelances, also soldiers who offered their military services to the highest bidder. And I think that's exactly what you all said in the chat. So one more time, well done. Hats off to you. Over time, the word evolved. By 1884, it referred to an unaffiliated politician and later to journalists, eventually acquiring the broader meaning that we know today. In the early 1800s, the term was written as freelance, evolving to freelance or freelancer in the early 20s, and finally more popularized in the 70s. Etymology free. This is fun. Fun facts. Y'all ready? The etymology free. It comes from a Germanic word meaning love. Aww. And lance. Carmen says, if we break it down to free and lance, the root word, there she is, right on cue, girl. Right on cue. Stealing my thunder. You stealing it. Chucha says, it's always about politics and money. You ain't never lied. So to Carmen Sandiego's point, exactly. The word free comes from the Germanic word meaning to love and lance, linked to a French word, lancer, meaning, where's Guillaume when you need him? Meaning to launch, reflecting the deeper connection between freedom, passion, and work, which resonates with the idea of freelancers launching independent careers that they love. There you go. All right, look, I'll be honest. I was just filling time, baby. I wanted to give y'all a put you on the game segment. I feel like if I didn't, I would be shortchanging you. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. That was put you on the game. Shout out to the chat. You all got it absolutely right. Get that out of there. Cool. And thank you all so much for your contributions, for telling me exactly what it was. How cool was that? Now, there have been a couple of suggestions in weeks past. Sadly, I forget what I had for breakfast, much less what y'all be telling me. But please remind me if there's a word or phrase that you think might be cool. Now, if you contribute the phrase and you know the etymology, you can't then guess in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That takes away. But it's not a full-blown contest, pause. It's for the kids. It's for fun, all right? And maybe some of us learn a thing or two. For example, I didn't know some of the other things that we've talked about on the show. Freelance, I think we all guessed right, but nevertheless. All right, moving on. How about this for an intro? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a major shout out to this next individual. You all know him as AeroRising in the chat. I know him as A&T. And the reason he's getting a shout out is because A&T has a segment on this show that we know to be, and appropriately titled, Anthony's Part of the Show. And that is exactly what is coming up next, and I think you all will love it as much as I do, or at least I hope so. And if you don't, well, sorry about you, all right? No, you're gonna dig it. It's great. Shout out to him, Ant, thank you so much.
Thank you
For all of your lovely contributions, including this segment. I think it's a fan favorite, man. So I'm gonna bang the gun, pause. Ant says, I only put my livelihood on the line. No biggie. And let's take a moment to thank him again. Look, a lot of work and effort goes into making these segments, as well as the quality and production of this show. You know, you spend a lot of time. It's the little things, it's the nuances that make the shit great, but most people sadly don't pick up. All right, there's an ad break coming. I'm gonna try to snooze that. All right, ads are snoozed for 5 minutes. Awesome, because I don't want anybody to miss this segment. And if you're wondering about why we have ads, it's because it's the way we can monetize this stream. And even though it's cents on the dollar, it's what we got to do. Now, if you don't want to see ads, all you got to do is subscribe, all right? Hit the subscribe. You won't have ads, and you get to unlock so many cool features. You get emotes, you get perks, you get badges in the chat. Bang. All right, no, you don't have to, but that's how you don't see the ads, all right? We got to do what we got to do, because I'm basically the little bit of money that we're making from the ads, guess where it's going? Right back to y'all with these giveaways, okay? Cool. So I'm going to turn down the... Oh, Ant says, seriously, though, BTS, no. I was emotional during this one. All right, behind the scenes, director's note. There you go, AeroRising. One more time. Hand claps. Why not? I'm turning down the lo-fi so that we can give this man his proper flowers and introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Anthony's Part of the Show.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's Part of the Show.
Some of the greatest basketball players of all time have torn their Achilles, like Kobe Bryant, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Durant, and last but not least, me.
Back, baby. I'm here in Leon County, not Tallahassee. I'm in Chairs, Florida. Shout out to Hannah. Today's a special day because I'm going to introduce you to my first love. I haven't done anything yet and I'm sweating like a dog.
Like a dog.
This right here got me through a lot of hardships. Traveling around 4 or 5 different elementary schools, 3 middle schools. This is how I fit in right here, this basketball. Today I'm wearing my Kobe Bryant legend shorts. Got my J's on. Now here's the thing. I fully ruptured my right Achilles playing basketball January, 9 months ago. I'm just now getting to the point where I could, I could do something. I could two-step with him. But I'm not even gonna try to jump yet.
I forgot the lapel mics. I'm sorry, I forgot the lapel mics. Sons of my, I don't know what's going on anymore.
This is the first time I'm touching and playing basketball in 9 months. The love of my life. I hope you guys enjoy. Maybe I'll throw a few trick shots in there for you. Maybe even my ultimate trick shot from the knee, half court, over my head. That's gonna be special. Keep on watching, people. Let's go.
It may not mean nothing to y'all, but understand nothing was done for me. So I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine. I'm shutting shit down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me. And I ain't even planning the call. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine. Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo.
A lot of pressure on me right here. A lot of pressure.
Girls want my name beside an X like Malcolm. Everybody got a deal. I did it without one.
Come on. Let's go.
Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Half court, on my knees, over my head, backwards, no look. Oh, still got it. Thank you for watching. I'm sweating. I swear to God, I've only been out here for 30 minutes. This is what I look like. I'm gonna leave you with this. Remember, everything means nothing, but some things mean everything. Let's go.
Chill! Give it up one time for my guy, ANC. Shout out to you, bro. That was sick.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did, as much as he did. That's what she said. And that ad break's coming up right on cue. How about it? Pretty dope. One more again. Bang! Let's just appreciate one time. My guy ruptures his Achilles. All right, poor thing. Sorry to tell the world, bro. My guy had a boot on at his own wedding. You know what I'm saying? It was sweet though. It was sweet. He was still getting it dancing. You know what I mean? And now he's back on the court, making trick shots. And how about that? Behind the back from the half court on your knees. Pause. Hand claps. Come on, give it up. One more again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of my favorite segments, Anthony's part of the show.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part of the show.
My man. Ant says, editing magic. Trust me, it was more than 1 inch off the ground. My God. I need to adjust these windows a little bit. There we go. Fixed it. Fixed it. Shucha says, Guinness Book of World Record shot. Bang! She knows what you know about that, girl. That's right. For those that don't know, I think my guy reached out to Guinness to try to get that in the book. I don't know whatever happened with that, but it was certainly worth consideration. Okay? For real, for real. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Ant says, yep, it was actually a little longer than that.
That's what she said.
Then a week later, Harlem Globetrotter beat it. Fucking Globetrotters. Shout out to them too. It was a legit category. Facts, man. And congrats. And we respect it. We love you for it. Cool. One more again. Anthony's part of the show. Fucking, I'm playing it again because I love it that much.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part of the show.
Chip. All right, now look, this ad break is going to hit in the next minute. There's not so much that I can do to dismiss it because I've already done that. I think I get 3 total. So I want to save it in case I need to. The next segment that's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is the movie preview game. So I don't want to spoil that for anyone. So I don't know how long. I want to say it's probably a 30-second ad, maybe a minute. So now I got to figure out how to bide our time. What do I do to kill time for another? I could play the fucking clip again. That's what we could do. Hopefully you all are subscribers and you don't see these ads and then it's just us hanging out. Ant says, almost had a leg break. No, man, don't say that. Don't say that. All right. Here's what I will do because I think everybody just about knows how to play this game. The movie preview game, okay? In just a few seconds, actually 30 or so, I'm gonna throw up a gradient on screen. Hope says everyone is trying to figure out how to buy out time. You ain't never lied. You ain't never. I think we're all trying to do that, ain't we, babe? I hear you. All right. Here's how the movie preview game works. Y'all ready? In a few moments, I'm gonna throw up I wanted to say a frame. It's a gradient frame. That's what it is. Okay? It's a gradient frame. Oh, cool. It tells me when the ads come on back. So now I know how much time I need to kill. It's about 1.5 minutes. Sorry about that. I'm sorry for those of you that have to endure those ads. You're going to see a gradient frame. Ant says, I'm on a 1-minute ad right now. I know, bro. I know, because you're not a subscriber. What a loser, man. I wish I had that. I'd play it. Carmen says, shout out to all the athletes who keep on going even after an injury. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Carmen. Shucha says, another part of the show that belongs to Anthony, the movie preview game. Hey, hard to deny that. And as a matter of fact, in just a second, we're going to give the champ his due recognition and acknowledgement. But before that, I think it's right that I explain this to you all, just in case there's anybody watching, or maybe in the chat who hasn't made their presence known, that doesn't know what's about to go down. All right, so the movie preview game. I'm going to throw up, I said it 3 times, I'm going to throw up a gradient frame. What does that mean? It's just a frame that you're going to see on screen. But when you see that frame on this show, it means that you're probably going to get a movie trailer of sorts, okay? When the movie trailer begins, all you have to do is to be the first person in the chat to type the correct name of the film. Now, I do it this way just about every time. You've got to say it right. You've got to say it right. You have to type the full name of the title. For example, if it's a sequel, it can't just be, I use Harry Potter a lot, Bad Boys 2, okay? If there's like a tagline, like if it's Bad Boys 2, welcome back to the block, it isn't, I just made that up. That's what you have to write in the chat. Does that make sense? I hope. It's gotta be the full name. That's all I'm saying. And you have to spell it right, because of course you do. Chucha says, can't see you anymore. Am I gone? No. Don't tell me that. All right, talk to me, chat. Am I gone? Chucha says she can't see me anymore. That's worrisome. Aww. All right, Aunt sees me, so it's just sadly, it's a Chucha thing. And you know what we got for you, babe? We got this.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Give it up. AeroRising says, John Cena over there. Can't see me. Do you get it? Good one, Aunt. All right, Chucha, are you back, babe? Please let me know. I'm gonna have to reach out. Chucha's gotta play this game. She loves this game. She's back. Bang! Mom, in case you missed it, this is for you.
Choo-choo, choo-choo.
Come on.
Choo-choo, choo-choo.
Yeah. Come on. Shout out to A&T for contributing that soundbite as well. I hope you heard that, babe. I hope you dug it. Aww. All right, I think we've explained the movie preview game. And says the little train sound is what gets me every time. And me, man. Well done. Well done. Solid production on that one. All right, matter of fact, let's go. Okay, back to basics. The movie preview game. What do you win, Ryan? Well, great question, Ryan. I'm gonna tell you what you win. If you win the movie preview game, first of all, you get to represent, and now I don't know which of these it is, with the movie preview game bell. And that's what it looks like. So that's our custom 1-of-1 movie preview game championship bell, baby. Cheer! And you don't get to take it home or anything, but you do get to represent with the emotes in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably post a photo online and you get to represent. Now, if you win the movie preview game 3 times, R&B is going to take you to the movies. And the last time we hosted a show, I did acknowledge that A&T was a... Let's just go on and get it out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, AeroRising, is a 9-time movie preview game champion. 9 times. Go on and put his name up on there if you would. There he is. Bang. All right. But before I make my real intro and welcome him to the stage, okay? I just wanted to acknowledge that we did buy my guy another set of movie tickets, and there's the receipt. I didn't have it last time. I have it now. So the only reason I'm showing this is to give credit and evidence to the fact that R&B delivers. Just like you hear in the montage intro, a Lannister always pays his debts. You win the title 3 times. I'm gonna buy you some movie tickets. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, Ant, we haven't heard from you, man. We don't know. Did you use those tickets? Did you go see a movie? He says, Ric Flair, woo, would be a good soundbite. I agree. Thank you for that.
Far too kind.
Do me a favor. Remind me later on so I can recall, because I will forget. But let us know. He also says, when you pick these, are you usually picking ones coming out within 2 weeks, or could it literally be like 3 months out? That is a great question. So, to reiterate that question, Ant is curious as to how we're picking these movie titles. The real truth is, there's not a lot of rhyme or reason in my approach. One, I don't want to give anyone an advantage in knowing what the title might be. So, Mom, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's not Moana 2, okay? It's not. That's a running joke. Oftentimes, I try to choose a movie that I think will be cool, or something that I would be interested in seeing, or maybe it's a little topical. For example, we had a conversation, I think, about Y2K, and then the next trailer that came out the next week was related. That might have been in reverse order. I don't know. Basically, I show shit that I think will be cool. All right, bang, that's it. Now, you're not gonna see titles for anything that's come out more than a few months ago. Typically, it's coming attractions. Imagine you're going to the movies, you're sitting in the theater, you're gonna see a trailer typically for a coming attraction. Now, there are those rare occasions, you can all attest to this, where you're watching a trailer and it is also playing in the theater next door. You know what I'm saying? So that can happen. It's not, they're typically newer movies. They might not be brand new and they might be coming out, but as far as like the runway on release date, I really can't say. There's no strict rules to this. I try to treat it like you might see these trailers in the theater. Now watch this. Sometimes you see a teaser trailer, okay? Now more often than not, I try to show you like a theatrical trailer. And sometimes, I'm saying a lot of that, sometimes there are different versions of a theatrical trailer, right? Like promo may have 1, 2, 3, 4 different ones. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to replay a trailer for the sake of. So like we did Lion King. I forget what the full title was. Shame on me. But it's the new Mufasa backstory, right? The prequel. That's never going to come out again on this show. Okay? Bang. Not unless they make another one. Another one. Okay? Ant says, I imagine she had a legal pad in front of her with the font Moana 2 on top of it. You said it's not that. She rips the page up, balls it up, throws it over her shoulder, hits Tyson on the forehead. Hey, good one. I love that you took your time with that. You know what I'm saying? He's on a keyboard, I'm pretty sure. But that was good, man. Moana 2. Let's see what else I can run. Not Moana 2. Okay. Hey, good one. Good one. That's the kind of shit we need on this show. I know he's no longer here, but I want to take this opportunity, and I'm doing a lot of cutting and pasting, but check this out. Earlier, when I alluded to the possibility of hosting more live streams and doing some gaming, okay, we had to test this, as I mentioned. Well, Shadow and I connected on Discord. All right, now many of you know what that is. Some of you might not. Basically, it's an app that you can use on your phone, on your computer, but it allows it. Hard to describe. One of the features on that app is the ability to teleconference, right? Almost like a FaceTime. And that's what we were doing. So you could hear Shadow speaking to me while I was live, basically. And so this is a long way of saying, if anyone wants to come on to the show and either, I don't know how we could accommodate the video, that's a sidebar, but maybe, but at the very least, we could have audio and we could have a dialogue that way. So just throwing that out there. I know a few of you are keen on doing that. So there's a possibility that we can jump on a Discord call, and that's as easy as downloading an app. Nothing major. You use your phone. It's as easy as that. You can use your earbuds. You don't even need a real microphone or anything. And you can have dialogue, and that might be fun. That might be a new way to make the show better and better.
You just keep getting better and better.
All right? So marinate on that. We'll circle back. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, he's been waiting in what's referred to as the Gorilla Box. If you know, you know. Do me a favor. And I don't know if this is the theme he had hoped to come out to. As a matter of fact, I wish I had a record. Chucha says, I read Oscar the Oyster, You Can Turn the Pages. I love that. I love that. Chucha Barber.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Yeah. We're going to do that, Mom. You and I are going to coordinate offline, and we're going to schedule a time to rehearse And in one of these shows, you're gonna call in, babe, and you're going to read Oscar the Oyster. Awesome. Hope cosigns. Thank you, Hope.
Thank you. Far too kind.
All right. So do me a favor. I'm gonna paint the scene for you. And this is foreshadowing, not for the movie preview game, but for what's likely to be discussed later in the show. And if you've seen this show in recent weeks, you should know exactly one of the titles that's gonna be discussed in the movie series review. Okay? So this is not a spoiler, it's just some foreshadowing. If you know, you know. So I'm gonna paint the scene as I said I would. Okay? This is the movie preview game. And I'm the host, and I'm in the ring. And I'm holding the belt, and I'm gonna acknowledge the champion, right? And we're all expecting the champ because we know exactly who the champion is. I mean, he's a 9-time champion. And we've been playing his music week after week after week. But then he turns heel.
No chance. So that's what you got.
What's happening?
Too strong. Pretty politicians buying souls for run song puppets.
Wait for it.
Won't find their place in line. But tie a string around your finger now, boy, 'cause it's just a matter of time. 'Cause you've got no chance. No chance in hell. You've got no chance.
You got no chance, according to Ant.
No chance in hell.
Come on.
You've got no chance.
All right, come on. A little one time for the theatrics. All right. Now, I hope some of y'all know exactly what that soundbite is. And if you don't know, that's okay. You're going to learn, baby. You're going to learn. But today, it is the Champs theme music. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, AeroRising is your 9-time movie preview game champion. So hand claps to you, my guy. Shout out. You're certainly eligible to hold down the title again today. Some of us are rooting for you. Some of us, maybe not. All right. So there he is. He's the champ. Let me go on and take that down. Bang. And as I promised, ladies and gentlemen, your gradient. Ant says, I think you can make it an actual cartoon for a fair price, and you can narrate it. I am not ashamed to tell y'all that I invest real money into this show. Okay, so earlier I talked about some of the spoilers. This, hopefully you've seen it. Above me, you'll notice R&B's little logo there, spinning around, doing cute things. Yeah, that's new. That's new. Previously, you might recall that was like a mustache, and I was cool with that. I thought it was a comb originally. Shame on me. I don't know why it looked like a comb. Comb, see, I can help with the whole pan. It's like Pam. Anyway. It wasn't a comb, it was a mustache. And then I thought, well, that's cool. I got a mustache, kind of, sort of. But I always wanted to change out the mustache, because why? With the logo. And so there you go. Now you got the logo. And so I'm down. This is a long way of saying I'm down to make continuous investments to make this shit.
You just keep getting better and better.
All right. Ant says, I was talking about Chucha and her book. Oh, by Matt. Okay. The book thing. That would be dope too. All right. So, Ant, I think now we're on the same wavelength. Previously, I was still in the Moana 2 scene, and I think now you're caught up. Ant's suggesting that we animate Chucha's narration. But that, all right, we're doing too much. Moving on. Bang. Back to the movie preview game. But I appreciate the ideas. I think they're really great. It's just a lot to invest time into. Let's start slow. Pause. Mom, we're going to figure out a way to get you on stream, at least your voice, and we're going to do Oscar the Oyster. I'll turn the pages, and we'll do it like that. All right, hand claps. All right, without further ado, I hope you all are still here, still with us, because this is about to be the movie preview game. And one more time, how it works, I'm going to turn down the lo-fi so that you can hear all of the wonderful audio that's coming through from the trailer, all right? And you just have to name the film in the chat. And the prerequisites are simply spell it correctly and type in the full title, whatever that may be. Okay? Okay, and remember, if you win 3 times, R&B, he gonna take you to the movies. So as promised, I'm gonna turn down the lo-fi. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, this week's movie preview. Good luck. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. No guesses just yet.
I'm all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful.
Be careful.
I will.
And says, damn it, I should know this.
With all the things that I seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. Now get back inside.
Moana 2. Good one, Mom.
Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here.
You keep dancing with the devil.
No guesses yet. It's about to tell y'all the title. Once that happens, the game is over.
One day he's gonna follow you home.
Give it up for Carmen Sandiego. Good job, Carmen. You made it, girl. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to announce that we have a new movie preview game champ. Please give it up for Miss Carmen Sandiego 04. Well done, girl. Very proud of you. Let me turn up the lo-fi. Now, I hope y'all dug that because I am looking forward to it. Bang! Michael B. Jordan. And I forget the goddamn director's name off the top of my head. Ryan. I think his name is Ryan of all things. But they do a lot of work together. So they've got great chemistry and I think they do great work and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, Ant, to your question earlier, it doesn't come out right away. So there's not always a rhyme or reason, but if I don't show it to y'all, then you might see it later on and be like, oh, I've already seen this 7 times. So I hope that was new for some of you. And at least one of us knew exactly what it was. So well done. Congratulations. All right. Next week, Carmen's name is going to be at the bottom of the screen. And darling, you got to tell me what theme song you might like to come out to. Bang! Now, typically we do like a wrestling theme entrance, but it doesn't have to be that. If you want to do something a little obscure, naturally, there's a song that goes pretty great with your name, but that might not be your cup of tea either. So give it some thought. Let me know. You know how to reach me, I hope. And we can do it like that. Now, there's a whole women's division in wrestling, so that would be fun, but it could be anything. You let me know. Congratulations again. We don't know. I don't know what Carmen's song is, Mom. We gotta let her choose. So there you go. That was, ladies and gentlemen, the movie preview game. Pretty cool. And frankly, it's nice to have another champion once in a while. You know what I mean? It's nice to let someone else get a little shine. Ant says, that's exactly what I was thinking. Ant the Carmen Sandiego. It's pretty catchy. Unless she objects, I would have chosen that for her myself, but you want people to have their own theme if you like it. So, Carmen, if you don't let me know, that's probably what we're going to default to, okay? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Bang! All right, she likes it. Hey, Mikey, she likes it. Cool. Well, I'll try to find a cool version of that, and that's what we'll play. Awesome. I hope so many of you all are still here. Obviously, I can see who is, those of you that are contributing. Hopester, Lloyd, if you're still there, first of all,
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're far too kind.
and maybe there's a couple people that are watching that haven't said hello, and if you're there, I appreciate you too. The next segment that follows the movie preview game rightfully is... Oh, AeroRising says, Harry? Lloyd? Yeah, absolutely. Hopester's still there. Love it. Love the little kitten in the chat. That's cute. Keep them coming.
That's what she said.
All right, you get it. Let's turn down the lo-fi. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is about to be a mega movie series review.
It's only a movie.
Just look over your shoulders, honey.
Yeah! Good morning, Vietnam!
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack.
Snakes? Snakes. I don't know no snakes.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Enjoy your remaining years.
I will. Enjoy fucking jewels.
I will.
That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ace.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Alrighty then.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah! And Ant, thank you again, bro.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're far too kind.
Love that montage. It's even better than season 1. Can't wait for season 3. I love it. And let me make sure, because I do this all the time, I gotta turn off. There you go. There you go. So that when I transition back, those things don't pop without me wanting them to. How about that? Russ Barber, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the chat, Dad. Diamond's in the chat.
Got a Superman Benz that I scored from Shaq with an old school caddy with the
Diamond's in the chat. Let's go. Appreciate you being here, man. Hope you're feeling well and everything's all good back home. Ant says, I think one of these weeks you gotta show the Bret Hart shout out to you. That's an idea. All right, we'll talk about that. Would have been more timely to have done it on my birthday, but shout out to you and him. It's worth it. Look, we recycle, baby. I agree. Oh, come on back. Dad, I'm glad you're here, man, because I'm hoping you've seen at least a couple of these titles that are coming out. I guarantee you haven't seen at least 2 of them, and there's a reason why, which is not to say that you're going to enjoy it, sadly. I'll explain what I mean in just a second. But I am excited because at least a couple of these titles are pretty good. Most of them are a bit just way out there. And I'll tell you what I mean in just a second. So this is the opportunity where Ryan or R&B gets to tell you about movies and or series that he has seen recently. So without further ado. Now the first one out the gate, I hope everybody watches, not because it's fantastic, but because I think it's wholesome. I think it's good, and you should learn a little bit about why maybe certain things happen behind the scenes. And you don't know what I'm talking about yet, but you will. And I know a couple of you have already seen it. In addition to movies and series and documentaries, I love stand-up comedy. Yes, I do. And one of my favorite comedians, it's true. Now, I will put an asterisk on that. One of my favorite female comedians, all right? Because most of my favorite comedians just happen to be men. But this one is a woman, and I love her stuff. And her name is Ellen DeGeneres, and she has come out maybe with her last stand-up. And it is called For Your Approval, rightfully titled. And it says, you know my theory. I don't know that the world does. And if you care to share, you're welcome to. Otherwise, that's fine too. Chucha says, saw that, love that you did, and I figured you might. Look, we all love Ellen. Who doesn't love Ellen? You know what I'm saying? I think Ellen is great. And when Ellen came on the scene, she was an up-and-coming comic. She was great. Her material was really clean and wholesome, but it was funny and it was good. And then she got a show and her sitcom was cool. And then she got a talk show. And her talk show is one of my most favorite talk shows of all time. I don't have many other than my own. Shout out. But she's dope. And we give Ellen her flowers. Now, look, I don't know what went on behind the scenes. She's been accused of being mean, okay? All right, now, in this special, if you haven't seen it, she does address this. And I'm going to give you all synopsis for every one of these titles coming up, so bear with me. But I just want to give you my 2 cents first. First of all, is it overtly hilarious? No. You know what I mean? It's not my favorite stand-up special of all time, but it's good. And there's a few things she says that are pretty cute. In fact, I'm gonna acknowledge Anthony Rising is a hilarious individual, and I have been encouraging him for as long as we've been friends to pursue stand-up endeavors because I think he's talented and he could do it. And over the years, he has shared with me concepts for bits and one-liners and various things, and there has been a bit that he has shared with me, he reminded me of this, that Ellen kind of does. And that's not to say that she stole his material, no, but it at least gives credit to the shared brilliance that is y'all. And so hand claps, I think it's cool. I won't tell you what joke it is, but it's funny, it's great. Now, sadly, you're gonna get an ad break here in 2 minutes, so if you are not currently a subscriber, you could do that. Otherwise, I'll see you when you get back from the ads, and whatever you miss, you'll have to rewatch in the VOD, all right? Originally I wasn't gonna have ads because I thought, well, there's only 5-10 people watching ever, and so we don't need ads, but I intend to give that money back to y'all. Okay, so in order to get it, I gotta give it and you gotta watch it, and there you go. But if you wanna subscribe, you could. All right, so here is the synopsis. Y'all ready? Ellen DeGeneres' new Netflix special for your approval. It marks her return to the stage after the controversy that ended her talk show in 2022. In this special, Ellen reflects on her fall from public grace, directly addressing the accusations of fostering a toxic workplace. She denies being mean-spirited, but acknowledges being a tough and demanding boss. And can we pause for the cause? Because she makes this point, and I think it's fair. And so I'd like to make this point too. You know, sadly, I'm choosing my words very carefully. I'll just say it the way it's coming to me, pause. If she were a man, I don't know that people would be saying the same things. Does that resonate? I hope it does. Because sadly, even today, when a woman acts a certain way, some people perceive that a certain way, which may or may not be accurate or fair. Versus if a man were to behave and act in a similar capacity, they might not be perceived in the same way. And so I think that's one of the points that she makes, and I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. Big facts, right? It's not cool, double standard. Now, look, I'm not really here to have that conversation. There are varying degrees of this, and sometimes, sadly, I do slant the other way. I think that, you know, gender roles and I'll give you a healthy example of this, let's just say. Generically speaking, women, I believe, are more nurturing than men. So when it comes to raising children, I think that there's a difference between a father figure and a motherly figure. And I hope we can all agree to that without there being controversy. But going back to this point, in that regard, as far as being a superior or a boss or whatever, I don't think that there should be any degrees of double standard, quite frankly. I have had both male bosses and female bosses, love them both, respect them both, have no problems taking orders, etc., etc. Wouldn't mind if there was a degree of sternness or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't there, so I can't speak to these various cases, but I have a suspicion that it might have a lot to do, sadly, with the fact that Ellen is a woman, and if it had been a man, maybe it would be different. I don't know. Carmen says, a non-people-pleasing woman is the workplace is labeled a bitch. I don't have a soundbite for that, so I'm just gonna laugh it off, all right? Now since we're here and we're using profane, we're all adults, I hope. there are bitches in the world and there are assholes in the world. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I don't know what the male equivalent of that, although men can be bitches and women can be assholes. So take it as you see it. The point is, yes, you can be mean-spirited, whether you're a man or a woman. That's not a question. And you shouldn't be, unless, of course, it calls for it. But I think the point that Ellen makes, and again, I'm not there, I'll let her do her own defense strategy, is that maybe the mean-spiritedness might have been perceived differently had she not been a woman. That's basically what I heard, so I'm giving it to y'all that way. All right, going back. The special blends her signature observational humor with more serious reflections on aging, mental health, and personal challenges like her diagnosis of OCD and ADHD. And I could relate to that OCD part, you know what I'm saying? So I dug that. I guess the aging and the mental health too, for that matter. Despite her frankness about her past, Ellen still delivers the set with sharp wit, poking fun at her experiences with playful quips about parallel parking and raising chickens during her time away from Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Ellen DeGeneres' For Your Approval, out now on Netflix. It's good. I enjoyed it. I hope you do too. I love Ellen. Hope y'all love Ellen. Bang. Carmen says, oh, that was the previous message. Chucha says she approves. Well, you know what? Thank you for that.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Yeah. Go on, girl. All right. Hang in there with me. If I didn't say it before, this is a mega movie review. What does that mean, Ryan? Well, I'll tell you. Usually, if there's a lapse in shows between a week or two, I watch more titles because I have more time to watch them. See how that works? So when there's 5 or more titles being discussed and shown, we call that a mega movie series review. And so sure enough, this week, in fact, I'll tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bang! Can we get another hand clap? 7 things you saw, dog? That's a lot. And some of them were full series. And so you can imagine how long that took. Hopester says, Chucha could write several books on this. She is an OG when it comes to women leaders in the workplace. Imagine being that woman in the 70s. First of all, and second of all, hand claps to both you, Hope, for saying that, and Chucha Barber. Let's play another sound clip just cuz.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
And I feel you. You know, this subject matter came up in another show when we highlighted a sports doc about one of my favorite football or soccer players of all time, who happens to be another Hope Solo. And it was about, frankly, how women athletes, and their team at least, were underpaid when compared to what the men equivalents were making on the national team scale. So even, I guess this is a long way of saying, even in a modern day and age like today, and we know this, and I'm not trying to be political or social or any of that, but there's still a lot of inequality and injustice out there, and I think we should all strive to do better.
You just keep getting better and better.
But thank you for saying that. I'm gonna hit the button for you, Chucha, because I think this is the sentiment you're expressing.
Thank you. Far too kind.
So on behalf of you, girl. And yeah, I can appreciate all of that. I think in those years, I mean, especially, it was probably a lot different. And I think we've come a long way, baby, but we still have a lot of progress to make. And the world is even more different now, you know what I'm saying? But less of that. Okay, I want to say this before I show you these next 2 titles because I'm gonna lose a couple of you, so please don't go anywhere. I promise I'll bring it back to more regular stuff. But I gotta do this because earlier, and I'm not gonna have another opportunity most likely. If you missed the beginning of the show today, there was a special cameo. My homie Shadow 1311, there he is. He was out here in Norway, and we had an opportunity to hang out and do all these things. And one of the things that we did while he was here, he introduced me. Oh, he's back! Welcome back, dog! I thought you were long gone, pimp. I'm so happy you've come back during this part of the show because I need you, pimp. I need you here for this part, okay?
That's what she
said. Okay, pause. He says he's been here like he never left. Bang, my man. All right, I'm gonna take down his photo in just a second, but this is important. One of the things that we did while he was here is Shadow is a longtime fan of anime, okay? And I have fought him on this for a long time because it's just not my cup of tea. But I respect the art that is anime, and I like animations and films that are animated sometimes. It's not my go-to, but sometimes I do. And so I challenged him. I was like, all right, bro, put me on to an anime that you think I might like. And so, as evidence of me possibly now getting back into the world of gaming and all of that, he showed me an anime that's rooted in gaming. So that's what kind of captured my attention. And I'll explain what I mean in just a second. So I'm going to take down Shadow's photo, and I'm going to show you the next title. And honestly, there's 2 anime titles that are coming out. Pause. They're both really, really good, but only likely if you dig gaming and the like. So if you're into that, these are going to be up your alley. For everyone else, I know you're probably like I am in most cases, where you're like, I'm not doing anime, bro, but they're pretty good. So the first one, Shadow, I hope you dig this, man. It is called Solo Leveling. All right, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a series by its poster. It is anime. If you don't know what anime is, I can't help you. Solo Leveling, just like it's. I'm gonna try to get. Matter of fact, I have it. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. Far too
Sometimes I'm doing. It's like R&B and Ryan are the same, like avatar, but one of us is helping the other. You know what I mean? So check this out. If R&B is talking to you, Ryan did the producer work, and he's going to give you this. So this is the synopsis. Y'all ready? Solo Leveling is an anime adaptation of the popular Korean web novel and manhwa, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, of the same name. So let's appreciate that this series comes from a Korean web novel. And pause. It's art, baby. That's what we're all about. Art and entertainment. And certainly anime is artistic in a variety of ways. But oftentimes, if I'm not mistaken, it comes from literature in various degrees. So the story, and forgive any mispronunciations, the story follows Jinwoo Sung, a weak and seemingly powerless hunter. Now you gotta go there with me. A hunter in a world where humans battle deadly monsters in dungeons. I wish I had a sound effect for that. After narrowly surviving a dangerous mission, Jinwoo gains a mysterious power that allows him to level up and become stronger, something no other hunter can do. So, just like in a video game where your character levels up, that's what Jinwoo does in this, and that's why I was kind of sucked into it.
That's what she said.
Pause. He, Jinwoo, transforms from the weakest hunter into one of the most powerful beings, embarking on a journey to uncover the truth behind this newfound ability and the hidden forces controlling the world. So the series combines action, fantasy, adventure with intense battles and a character-driven storyline that explores themes of growth, survival, and power. Shout out! All right, I don't dig anime often. I really enjoyed this series. I believe it was just season 1, but we did it. We binged it. It was good. Shout out to Shadow. There's some things going on in the chat. Chucha says, OMG. And then she says, I hope Lloyd is there for the hunter part. Yeah. Shout out to y'all hunters doing that thing. In the context of this anime and series, and typically games of the sort, hunters don't mean exactly what you think they do. Kind of, but not also. But anyway, I know you're making a joke. Good one. All right. Solo Leveling, honestly, of all the anime, which is a very short list, of all the anime that I've ever seen, it ranks pretty highly. But not as highly as this next title. All right, and I promise I only have 2 animes for you today. So for those of you that are like, man, let's get back to the real movies, I feel you. But you gotta trust me on this. Part of it is R&B's gonna put you on game. Some of y'all might dig these things, and if I did, then at least I get to tell you about it. And remember, we watch a lot of bad films on this stream too. Not that these are, but anyway. This next title is also an anime. One more time, shout out to Shadow for introducing it to me. We also binged the entire series while he was here, but it was that good. And I'll also say this. Sometimes anime are overdubbed. So if it's Korean or Japanese, then they'll do like English overdubs. I don't want that. I want to watch it in the language that it was created, but with subtitles, okay? And if I could recommend it, that would be my recommendation. Now, Shadow tells me sometimes the English overdubs are done very well, but I think more often than not, maybe he'll agree, it's not. So watch them in whatever language they were created in with subtitles. I think it makes for a better experience. All right. The next title and the last anime of the day is another, and here's the keka. I was gonna say catch. It's another video game themed anime, because of course it is, because that's what drew me to these things. I didn't want to watch something about somebody getting powers and doing something. I was like, make it make sense, man. And the video game thing is cool to me. So that's where we're coming from. So this one is called, wait for it, Shangri La Frontier. All right, I know it looks kooky from the screen art. Don't trip off that. It's really, really cute. It's really fun. I'm gonna read you the synopsis. Again, I think you have to be into like the video game multiplayer thing. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you were, definitely. And I've done some research. Other streamers, based on their opinions, almost everybody I have seen online has nothing but the best things to say about this. And I watched it. It was really good, and I'm excited for the next one. Okay? So maybe what I do, watch this. Because again, I'm always about putting you on game. And so you know what happens when you see it. To give you a taste of what this is, how it looks, and the vibe and all that, I'm going to play the trailer for you. All right? So if you're not into it, just bear with me. Give me a few moments of your time. But I hope some of you see this and be like, oh, that looks kind of cool. That looks kind of fun. Maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I thought it was worth showcasing because it's not going to be often that you see an anime on this show. So let's go on and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I loved it that much. It is called Shangri La Frontier. And how cool is that title? You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of what it's about.
Enjoy を忘れずにやっていこうか。シャングリラ・フロンティアセカンドシーズン10月から日語枠にて放送開始。はい。
All right, come on now. Shadow can attest to this. Because we were watching so many of these shows in sequence, I kept doing the voice. And we went out for sushi. And I think I embarrassed everybody at the table. I was like, more sushi, God, please. It was funny at the time. You know how it is. If you hear an accent over and over and over again, you just kind of adopt that sound. And if you're having fun with it. Anyway, so maybe I shouldn't have shown the trailer right away because that was the season 2 trailer. So there is going to be a second season. I'm very excited about it. I think it's shared on screen October 13th. So if you're into it, watch that. Let me put the poster back up and let's talk about it for a second because it's definitely worth the mention. Shangri La Frontier is an anime adaptation of the hit web novel series. You see what I'm doing here, people? I tell you this. I tell you how cool books are, and I don't know what a web novel series is. I'm guessing it's a publication that's online, but it's an adaptation of that. So it starts with the literature and it becomes something else, dope, art, etc., etc. It follows, and I'm going to say this terribly, I'm so sorry. It follows a character named Rakuru? Sorry. Hizutome. Rakuru Hizutome. He's a gamer obsessed with playing poorly made trash video games. So a trash video game is a game that's terrible, both in the sense of it sucks and there are a lot of bugs and it doesn't work right, but there apparently, and this is true, people or players who enjoy those experiences because like getting through those like impossible levels because of the glitches and the bugs is a challenge in itself, and that's where this character falls in. After mastering countless broken games, he decides to try a top-tier VR MMO called Shangri La Frontier. And this highly immersive world, because his name is hard to say, Rakuru's skills from his experience with the difficult games, are you with me? Give him an edge, allowing him to tackle high-level challenges and monsters with ease. So I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. In the show, this kid plays trash games because they're difficult and they're glitchy and they're buggy, but he becomes really, really good at it. And because he's so used to playing these broken games, when he goes into a top tier game and everything is smooth. Now remember, this is like immersive VR, so he's just using his mind and his like haptics to move and shit. But in the top tier game, it's so fluid and easy. So all of the skills that he's been developing in the trash game get applied and he becomes like a savant, if you will. And he's that fucking guy. Not for nothing, you can see this in the poster. When he creates his character, for some reason, he chooses like a bird mask. And so he's got the body of a human or a guy and the head of a bird. But he's not a bird, it's just a mask, but that's part of it. So let's laugh at that. There's also so many cute little characters and cute, fun little rabbit. I mean, it's a good show. Chucha says, I'm ready to sign up for commercials. You're killing me, Ryan. No, come on now. I knew I was gonna lose some of you. I've noticed the chat is a little this. All right. But I feel responsible to tell you all about, had these animes been bad, I wouldn't have mentioned it, okay? I just wouldn't have. The fact of the matter is, it was good. Ant says, damn, she's waiting for an ad. I know. Show a little respect. No respect. Shout out to Rodney. Okay. As he explores this vast new world, Rakuru, using the avatar Sunraku, that's his character name, embarks on a thrilling quest, forming alliances, uncovering secrets, and facing powerful adversaries. The series is packed with action, fantasy, and game mechanics. It is dope! Our luck, the ad is for an upcoming anime. That would be fun. All right. I'm gonna say it one more time, and this is true. You can take it to the bank. This is my favorite anime that I've ever seen, and that's not saying a lot because I've only seen a handful, but it was really good. I enjoyed it for the obvious reasons. One more time, shout out and thank you to Shadow for introducing it to me. All right, bang. Shangri La Frontier. Okay, we're off that. Now, this is where we get into the normal film kind of franchises and the like, all right? So come on back. Everybody bring it on back. Get your popcorn ready. I typically tier the films in the order that I would grade them. So remember that what's going to come out now in sequence starts off lower and then ends up higher, ultimately resulting in your pick of the week. All right? So they're not in the order that I saw them, but they are in the order that I'm going to tell you about today. And the first film is a weird one, okay? And I don't say that lightly. So ladies and gentlemen, the next film up is called Kinds of Kindness. And it's a weird poster, and it's an even weirder movie. So here's the synopsis. Y'all ready? And I'm going to mispronounce his name too. I'm so sorry. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. It's an absurdist anthology film presented as a triptych. What the fuck? Yeah, I looked up those words. No. Basically, it's 3 films in one. So it's like 3 short films, and they're all fucking super weird. Okay? I wish I had a button. That's what you're gonna get. The film tells 3 interwoven stories. They're not really interwoven, except that the same actors are in each of them, which adds to the confusion when you're not ready for it. Like, imagine you're scrolling through the options, and you're like, oh, fucking Emma Stone? I like Emma Stone. Let's check this out. And it's just the weirdest shit you've ever seen. And then the movie ends, and you're like, wow, this is a short movie. And then another one comes on, and you're like, wait, what's happening? And then she's in it, and they're like, is it the same character? It was very fucking confusing, to say the least. The film tells 3 interwoven stories, each exploring themes of control, identity, and transformation. It gets deep.
That's what she said.
Okay. The first story centers on a man trapped in a life controlled by external forces, struggling to reclaim his autonomy. I guess I should break it up for y'all. Maybe not. Let's just keep on reading. The second focuses on a policeman whose wife mysteriously returns after being lost at sea, but she seems like an entirely different person. Chucha says, now you've talked about 3 movies I'll never watch. Mom, okay, let's pause. Mom, if I recall, for your birthday, you chose a movie that me and Dad went to see, and of course, I can't remember the title now, but it starred Emma Stone, and I believe it was this same director, Yorgos Lanthimos, okay? They do a lot of work together. Pretty Little Things, maybe, what was it called? And it was weird as fuck, all right, to say the least. But it was good, and it was enjoyable, and it was very artistic. And remember, we all kind of shared different opinions after enjoying that film. Good pick. This is just like that, except maybe a little weirder, if you can believe it. And not for nothing, it also stars, cheating now, Willem Dafoe, who was also in that movie. We need more cursing on this channel. I try to hold back because I've received feedback over the weeks that maybe we shouldn't curse so much. I don't know. I'm not like pulling my punches, but I am being mindful of them. Sometimes I drop bombs, sometimes I don't. Chucha says, I have good taste. It won an Academy Award. It did. But let's also appreciate that those shows are sometimes rigged. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not here to debate it with you. It's artistic, to say the least, but it's weird. And it's weird particularly when you don't know what you're getting into. I didn't turn this movie on thinking it was going to be on that kind of thing. I probably wouldn't have watched it. But I'm glad I did. I can tell y'all about it. And if it ever comes up in conversation, I get to look... You know, I'm a movie buff myself. All right, I've seen kinds of kindness. AeroRising says, organically cursing. I like that. I try. Keep me honest, y'all. All right. The third, I don't know where I left off, so I'm just going to give it to you here. The third story, remember there's 3 stories in this film. The third story follows a woman searching for a gifted individual destined to become a spiritual leader, set within a strange cult contest. It's very strange. Each of the films in the film are equally weird. And I can't give you more than the synopsis. That would give things away, but it's wow. And the acting is fantastic. So the film blends dark comedy with psychological thriller elements, using surreal situations to challenge ideas about human relationships and destiny. And it stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Willem Dafoe, and others. And those three are heavy hitters. I like each one of those fine actors, and for that reason, I would encourage you to watch it, but go into it with a very open mind because it's wow. Hopster said,
I'm your Huckleberry.
Hey, and that's just my game. Let's go, Russ Barber. Dad, I think you dig it, man, just because, you know what I mean? We saw the other one. You might as well, if you get the opportunity. Hope says, have a great day, everyone. It was a great show as always, Ryan. Aw, Hope, you gotta go. Thank you for being here, darling.
Thank you. Far too
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a diamond. She's a VIP. Let's give her a proper outro.
Got a Superman band that I scored from Shaq with an old school caddy with the
Hope has left the chat. Can you dig it? All right. 3 movies in one. Pretty cool, pretty weird, great acting, the storytelling, super wild, like hard to even follow at some point. You're like, what's happening right now? But it's crazy. Check it out. I'd be really, really curious to know what any of you all think if and when you see this, okay? Bang. Kinds of kindness. Now the next one is another project that I happened to watch with Shadow 1311 while he was here, because we got to watch movies. I mean, we were watching a lot of anime, sadly, but I say sadly, they were good. But we did watch a film as well, and we didn't choose it for any particular reason. We just stumbled upon it. It was entertaining enough. Not a great movie. It just isn't a great movie. I do like the principal actress, however, and I'll tell you who she is in just a second, but let's go on and throw up the poster. This one's called The Watchers. So you might know who that is from the poster. Dakota Fanning stars as Mina. She is the lead character, and she deserves more flowers, so let's go on and give it up. I really like Dakota Fanning. I think she's fantastic. Sadly, this film wasn't great enough, but she carries, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you the synopsis. Shadow saw it. One time for you, buddy. Here we go. The film follows Mina, a 28-year-old artist stranded in a remote forest in Ireland. She finds shelter with 3 strangers, but they are soon stalked by eerie, humanoid creatures that observe them from the shadows each night. These creatures, known as the Watchers, are part of a local folklore, and they mimic human behavior, trapping the group in a deadly game of survival. As the story unfolds, Mina begins to question reality and the truth behind the forest's sinister inhabitants. Ladies and gentlemen, The Watchers. Now, I don't normally do scary films or horror films, but I had my big brother there with me to protect me. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna watch a scary movie, do it with somebody. You know what I mean? I'm not watching them alone, and then the lights go off, and I see Grandma in the mirror, and it's all bad. You know what I mean? It's just, Grandma, I'm live streaming. Let me be. And there's another ad break coming up in a couple minutes, so sorry about you. The Watchers. I won't tell you who they are or what they are. That'll be up to you all. No spoilers on this show, but it was cool. It kept our attention. I think in the end, Shadow and I, unless you object, sir, and you're welcome to chime in, we had the same opinion. Yeah, I mean, it was like, meh, glad I saw it. Wouldn't be mad if I never did, but it is what it is. The Watchers. I guess the best thing I could say about it was when you learn what these creatures or things are, that's kind of cool. There aren't a lot of movies that I'm aware of that focus on that. And I can't tell you. That's the whole shtick. But it's not like a ghost story. You know what I'm saying? They're not that. And so when you go, oh, that's what they are? Oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? Only because you don't see a lot of films that talk about those entities, let's say. All right? So I'm just going to leave it at that. The Watchers. We saw it. Was it great? Nah. Was it worth seeing? I don't know. If you're into horror films, you might. It's not a horror film. It's just kind of a thriller. It's a thriller. 'Cause this is real. I wish I had that, but I don't. Anyway, that's that. The Watchers. Bang. All right. Now, I promise I got 2 more titles, and one is great, and the other one is good. I'm going to put a stamp on it because it's topical in a way, but it is entertaining. And that's what's coming up next. Y'all ready? And there is an ad break in 1:16. So if I lose you, hang tight, watch the ads, come on back. We'll do this thing. Can you dig it? And again, if you're wondering why there's so many ads, it's because in order to have money to give back, you got to stomach a couple ads in the time frame. So I made the break as long as I can with a 55% get back, because anything less than that just isn't worth it. Now, if you're a subscriber, you don't have to endure those ads, okay? So shout out to the subscribers. You can see the goal up there, all right? I published it for you. Sadly, 2 out of 10, okay? Just 2, y'all. And I think you know who you are. And if you don't, I'll be glad to give you your acknowledgement and flowers. But from me to you,
Thank you. Far too kind.
all right? And not for nothing, 57 followers out of 60. I'd love to reach that 60 achievement. Don't know what we do when we do that other than move the bar forward, but that would be cool. We're so close. So if anyone's watching and you're not a follower, do me a favor. Hit that like and follow and keep on rocking, all right? Bang. 4 seconds. Those of you that are going to ad break, I'll see you in a minute. And now I almost feel like we want to wait for them, don't you? Don't you want to wait until they come back? Because I'll know when they get back. So let's do that. Because there's probably only 7 of y'all. Maybe, you're exaggerating, right? There's probably 4 of y'all, okay? That's probably more accurate. Probably 4. And only 2 of you are subscribers. So here we go. The ad break is going to end in 1:23, and therefore When it's over, we'll do the next title, and then that'll be fun for all of us. Do me a favor, since we're talking about subscriber goals and follower goals, pay extra close attention to what you see on screen when we switch it up for The Witcher. All right? It's a little foreshadow there, little hint, Easter egg hint. This episode is sponsored by Red Bull. It isn't, but that would be sick if, gives you wings. I like the flavor. Because this is going to publish as a VOD, if you're watching it, you're going to be like, what's he doing? I'm killing time until the ad break ends so that the people that don't subscribe can come on back, watch the rest of the movie series review. All right, 30 seconds on the clock. I will take this opportunity. Earlier, I shared with you all that I did release a new record. It's a SoundCloud exclusive. It's called Kiss Goodbye, and this is a snippet for that ad.
I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, but I understand. I'm going home, Peter Pan is leaving Neverland. You'll be alright, Tinkerbell. Stand by your man, Captain Hook with the no look. With my other hand.
That boy's crazy.
I'm not a bad guy, man. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing. I'm a decent person. For what it's worth, I'm really sorry for the
back,
trouble,
yo.
dog. I should have walked away a long time ago and just
let
cut
it
her
know.
off.
Welcome back. Carmen says, next time you feel like watching a horror movie, watch Salem's Lot. It's a remake from the 70s based on Stephen King's novel. Believe it or not, I have seen the original, I'm pretty sure. This is a fun fact because it is referenced in an Eminem lyric. He's like, I cannot grow old in Salem's Lot. I'm pretty sure it's his like biggest record of all time. So if you know, you know. But I have seen it. I'm not into that genre, darling. I know. I'm just not. Shadow 1311 is lurking again. Come on, man. She says the remake is fire. All right. So, interestingly enough, the place in which I'm able to watch so many of these titles, and shout out to him. You know who you are. Shout out to my guy, Caesar.
Thank you. Far too kind.
He's into the horror genre, so chances are it's there. I just overlook it because I'm not so much. But if I see it, if I come across it, and I'm in the right mood, I will. And here's my promise to you, darling. If I watch it, I'll let you know, and then you can definitely tune in to the next episode. All right? And for those of you that came back from the ad break, you might have been like, what's he doing playing that record again? We already heard this. Yeah, I was killing time to wait for the next title. She says, absolutely. Aw. All right, cool. So, picking up right where we left off, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't showcase the next title. I waited for you to finish the ads. Hopefully you didn't click off, right? Here we are. This one's decent, and this one was also a viewer request, okay? I doubt that they're here because I have not seen their name, but maybe they will rewatch the VOD, and then they will be very happy to know that I heard them. They asked me to watch it. I did. I enjoyed it. It's on the list. Without further ado, the next title up is called Blink Twice. There he is, as you see him, starring Channing Tatum. Now, I'll tell you more about the actors in just a second. Let me give you the synopsis. Y'all ready? Now, here's what I didn't know while watching the film, and shame on me. Carmen says, ooh, good one. All right, I thought you might like this one. It was directed by Miss Zoe Kravitz. How about that? So shout out to her. Bang, gunshot. And I certainly didn't know this, but you know how it is. The algorithms just know. You watch something, and the next thing you know, you got all these like TikToks and reels and photos of either the actors or the directors or the film itself coming up on your social media. Like, God damn, how does it know? I just watched that shit. But it does. And so what I learned is that Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum are engaged, maybe. So hand claps. Shout out to them. But I think that's interesting that she cast him, given that dynamic. AeroRising says, that's why my Instagram is just boobs and wrestling. Hey, good on you. And thank you so much for being here, man. I don't know if you had to endure the ad. If you did, I'm so sorry. But I did wait. I'm glad you're here. Blink Twice. I think you would dig this. How about this? This title on the list is the best one so far. Okay? And so I think everyone would enjoy it. And here's what it's all about. You ready? It's a psychological thriller, cause this is... I did that already. Directed by Zoe Kravitz, as I mentioned. The film follows Frida, a cocktail waitress who is invited by tech billionaire Slater King to his private island. Now, who does that sound like? All right, so very topical. If you know, you know, the diddler. Okay, the diddler. And also, it's giving Epstein a little Epstein Island happening here. Now, there's a lot of speculation and suggestions online, right? After you've seen the film, that it's, oh, they have to put it in plain sight. They're showing us yada yada yada. I don't think it's that. I just think it's an easy story to write. You know what I mean? This tech billionaire has an island. He brings people to it. I can't say too much, but you can make your own inferences. Chucha Barber says, "That's not saying much. Best so far." Chucha, you're pushing my buttons, Roger. Y'all remember that commercial? Sadly, you know, the art form of commercials died out, man, because we don't watch. You get ad breaks on this show, but we don't really see commercials like that no more. Not on streaming services, although I hear they're bringing it back. Anyway, there was a classic. Go home, Roger. That's something else, T and Tamara, but thank you for that, Marcus Houston. Now, this was a commercial. You'll know when I tell you this. I think it was Pizza Hut. I don't quote me on that, but it was an old woman, and it was a chimpanzee. And I think the chimpanzee was like giving this old woman a hard time. I think he was trying to call Pizza Hut. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna have to bring up this commercial next episode. But what made it, and kids took to it, the woman is like, "You're pushing my buttons, Roger." And they cut to the monkey or the ape, and he's cutting up. And so I remember we did that at the house. We would run around the house and be like, "You're pushing my buttons, Roger." So anyway, I hope that brought back a couple memories for y'all. Enjoy that. Okay, back to the movie review. Blink twice. Frida is a cocktail waitress who is invited by this tech billionaire to his private island. What starts as a seemingly perfect vacation quickly turns eerie as Frida notices strange occurrences. As her doubts about reality grow, she must uncover the island's secrets if she is to hope to survive. All right, that was like the best way I could write that up without giving away much of anything, okay? Because that's not what we do on the show. There's no spoilers, but it is a good movie. It kept me entertained. Now, good movie. Hard to say, okay? It's good movie. It was entertaining, okay? I'll give you that. The film stars Naomi Ackie as Frida. She is the lead, and here's what I didn't know. She also played Whitney Houston in the recent film I Wanna Dance with Somebody. Now, I haven't seen that, but that's dope. Honestly, I hadn't seen this young lady in anything prior, and I wasn't sure about her credentials, so I had to look them up. Now, I have seen the poster for this Whitney Houston film, but I've never been in the mood. I love Whitney, don't get me wrong. I wasn't ready for like a biopic, you know what I'm saying? And so I didn't do that. But now that I know she's Whitney, now you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention, you know what I'm saying? Because now I liked her in Blink Twice. I'll probably watch her as Whitney Houston. There you go. Also starring Channing Tatum. Bang. I like him a lot for various reasons, but he's cool. 21 Jump Street and all that. My name is Jeff. Recently, that's topical, okay? That's not the film I love him most from, but I'll give you what's related to the show. It also stars Christian Slater, Alia Shawkat, forgive me if I mispronounced that, Simon Rex, Adria Arjona, and Gina Davis. How about that? We talked about Beetlejuice recently. Gina Davis is in this. She has a minor role, but it's still good. And I like Gina Davis. So shout out to Aunt. I know you know what I'm thinking. You want to be the one or shall I? Come on, man. I'm waiting on it. There's no crying in baseball. A League of Their Own, ladies and gentlemen. If you've seen A League of Their Own, Gina Davis, fucking fantastic. Okay, there he is. Bang. I didn't know how quick you would be on the keyboard, so I tried to wait, and then there's also a delay. Ant says, possibly the best sports movie ever. Dang, high praise on that one. We have to debate that on another time. So Ant says, so I don't want anybody on here thinking I'm sexist. Yeah. I noticed you were awfully quiet during the Ellen DeGeneres segment. And And I know you love her comedy too, man, so it's all good. I'm just teasing. Just teasing. Chucha says, what about Thelma and Louise? Hey, respect. Hats off. Thelma and Louise. Absolutely. Now, I think you can well appreciate Thelma and Louise didn't resonate with Anthony and I as well as League of Their Own, or as much as A League of Their Own, but certainly fantastic. She's great. Beetlejuice I mentioned. I could probably come up with another couple, but she's good in this. Not a lead role. Fantastic. Susan, Bull Durham, again with the sports. Absolutely. Your dad knows about that. Probably so. Yeah. Both of those actresses, fantastic, man. Okay. Blink Twice. It's cool. It's suspense. It's a thriller of sorts. Been on that genre a little bit. And again, a little topical with the whole P. Diddy thing, a little bit. Anyway, this one was recommended, so if you're watching, you're welcome. We watched it, we reviewed it. I hope you dig it. Blink Twice. All right, thank you all so much for bearing with me. There were a lot of titles to get through. This was a mega movie review. But I've got one more, because of course I do. It is your pick of the week. Right on cue. He knew exactly what it was gonna be, because of course he did. He knew I saw it. You all should know I saw it because we debuted the trailer. I told you as soon as it came out I was gonna watch it. If you know me, you know how much I love this. I was gonna say subject matter. I wanted to say I love the individual. I don't know this man. After seeing the doc, I don't know how I feel about him, but I definitely respect what he did for the game. Ant says, good for us, probably great for people who don't know much about wrestling. That was gonna be my sentiment exactly. Ant, more than me, knows a tremendous amount about wrestling, professional wrestling. I know quite a fair bit. In fact, I've had recent conversations with my big brother who also used to watch wrestling back in the day. And what I found interesting was there was so much that he didn't know, having watched the documentary. And so for someone that's just a casual observer, not really into wrestling, maybe you never watch it, but you know the big names. You know Hulk Hogan, you know Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right? You know the big names. You know Vince McMahon. And this gives a lot of insight and backstory. So without further ado, Russ says,
if you smell what the Rock is
you certainly know who that is. Great one, Ant. See what I did there?
The Rock says,
come on.
The Rock says,
woo! Come on, hey. Well done, my friend. Well done. Well timed. You know what I mean? Russ Barber says, been skipping over, might need to reconsider. Hear me now. You definitely have to watch this series. So let me tee it up for you and we'll talk more. You got no chance.
no chance, so that's what you got. Up against a machine too strong.
I'ma let it ride.
Politicians buying souls for run song puppets. We'll find them.
I'll explain. Let it drop.
It's just a matter of time. 'Cause you've got no chance. No chance in hell. You've got no chance.
So that was Mr. McMahon's, Vince's character's theme song for a period of time, especially during the Attitude Era. And the doc goes into so much of that, which is to say that there are these periods of wrestling evolution. And when I say wrestling, we don't mean the sport of specifically. We mean the world of professional wrestling. And so I choose those words carefully. Highly recommend it just to have the insight from a pop culture reference. I mean, one of the things that I'm reminded of in watching the doc is that professional wrestling and pop culture were so married in so many ways, and much of that has to do with Vince McMahon. Arguably, and write it down, arguably the greatest promoter of all time. I mean, hard to argue. Ant's making a point. So I said Mr. McMahon, the character. That's what the name of the doc is and what I say. But yes, to Ant's point, I think I'm interpreting this correctly. It's also kind of who he was. All right, let's be fair about it. I mean, he likes to give credit to the difference between Vince McMahon, the guy, and Mr. McMahon, the character, but it really was kind of him. But the character in the sense of when he comes out to the ring, that's the music you heard often. All right, so here's the synopsis we wrote. You ready? The Netflix documentary series Mr. McMahon chronicles the life and career of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the co-founder of the WWE, or World Wrestling Entertainment. The 6-episode series explores McMahon's transformation of the WWE from a regional entity into a global entertainment phenomenon, detailing both his business strategies, controversies, including explosive allegations of sexual misconduct that led sadly to his resignation. Drawing from over 200 hours of interviews. Can we get a moment of silence for that? God damn. 200 hours of interviews with McMahon, his family, wrestling legends. The series provides an in-depth and unflinching look at his impact on professional wrestling. It also features insights from journalists who covered McMahon's controversies, painting a comprehensive picture of one of the most enigmatic figures in sports entertainment. The series debuted on September 25th. It is directed by Chris Smith, known for his work on Tiger King, so if you enjoyed that, you might dig this too, with executive production by Bill Simmons. Hand claps. AeroRising says the reason why it's not great to him is because he already knew everything about wrestling, and I think we made that point. He also acknowledges Bill Simmons. Well done on that. Bill Simmons and his little wrestling expert are not really experts. This is really, really impactful feedback. Thank you, Ant. Bill Simmons and his little wrestling expert are not really experts. Then all of Vince's new allegations are cut from the footage. They scrambled to put it all together and make it entertaining. Hey, well said. And I like that we're defending this and having spirited conversation. So this is true. And I was going to say some of this, so thank you for bringing it to my attention. Also, you know, when you prep for the show, you try to think of another. I mean, I gave you the music. Jesus. Right? In hindsight, I wish I had a specific clip that has become a very popular meme online. And I'm going to tell you more about that in a second because it was also cut from the doc. And I don't know if you noticed that, but it's impactful, and I'll talk about that in a second. So one of the things that I read to you in the synopsis is that 200 hours of interviews, apparently. But then it all gets cut up. And Mom, you're a documentarian. You realize how this goes. So one of the things that fans are a bit upset about is because we wonder if they didn't take liberties in painting Mr. McMahon in a less positive light than perhaps would have been subjective. That's well said, I hope. And I think that's one of the points that AeroRising is making. Now, yes, it was entertaining, and I recognize that that's probably a top priority. You got to make the show entertaining, otherwise people aren't going to watch it outside of, hardcore fans. Anthony's part of the show is originally a 30-minute sitcom, but he cuts it down to 3 minutes. Let's go! AeroRising, I wish it were a 30-minute show, man. Not only would we air it, I would watch it. I would be in it, I hope. Bang. Love that. Long way of saying there's a lot that they cut out from the doc. What they kept, I think, is great, particularly from the historic lens. I mean, they go through from when wrestling was territorial throughout the United States, WrestleMania 1, the different eras. You have the Attitude Era, you have the PG era. There is commentary. One of the things that I thought was interesting and also a bit saddening is they do have interviews with some of the top tier people in the entertainment business, right? So the likes of Hulk Hogan, certainly, The Rock, and more names to mention. But there were a few people that weren't in there that I would have liked to see. Not for nothing, and those that know, you'll find this funny. There is a wrestler who got a lot of screen time. Fucking Tony Atlas. I don't know why Tony Atlas got as much screen time as he did, and I liked his contributions. AeroRising said, "Yep, Donald Trump makes a couple cameos, and I'm sure they did all that intentionally, to spark not only controversy, but to get it's topical in time. I understand what they look. They got a movie to make. I get it. one of the things that was interestingly absent, I don't know if you caught this, Anthony, and maybe I just missed it, but I don't think it was in there. There's been a meme and a clip online that has become popularized of Vincent Kennedy McMahan sitting in the interview chair from the doc where he's getting choked up, and he makes like the throat cut sign with his hand to indicate stop the tape because he's getting emotional. Right now, people have repurposed this clip and image for funny lines online, and they're pretty great overall. But that clip doesn't make the doc. And I didn't realize that until I saw the full clip, which I hadn't seen before. And I don't know if you knew this, and this is important to me especially. You'll know why in a second. And I'll ask you, and be timely on the chat. Do you know the question that gets asked which causes Vince to get choked up like that? Because I didn't, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's dope. Aww. So let me know if you know, because if you know, then I'll just skim through this. Otherwise, I'll tell you. And for anyone else watching, some of you that know me well, you'll know why this is kind of important. Ant says, I want to say that clip is from The Undertaker doc. It is, as a matter of fact. Damn, so maybe I got it wrong. So one time for you and one time for The Undertaker. So the reason I thought it was the same doc is because he's wearing the same clothes. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but maybe I'm wrong, but you're absolutely right. And I don't know why, but I just missed it, and maybe I just wasn't thinking about it. But that clip, which isn't in this doc, whether it's supposed to be or not, is because they asked Vince about The Undertaker's contributions and what he means to him in so many words, and he gets emotional from it, and I thought that was impactful. So if you don't know, The Undertaker's real name is Mark Calloway, and he happens to be my most favorite wrestler of all time. Okay, so there you go. And Anthony and I haven't met him, but we've come pretty close, and my dad took me to my first wrestling show. Shout out to you, Dad. Aww. And if you remember, man, you got me down to the barricade when The Undertaker was coming out, and I reached and I was able to touch him. I was able to touch him and slap him on the shoulder, and for some reason he was wearing the jacket and it was all wet. I guess he wet his hair and shit, but we did that, man. Remember that? Shoot just says, lost my phone. God damn it, Mom. I was down on the phone. We really were. This was back in South Florida, man, a long time ago, but that happened. Anyway, I thought that was, for one reason or another, absently missed from the documentary, but thank you so much for letting me know that probably is from another documentary. Thank you, so there you go. Thank you. Far too kind. Anyway, back to Vince. It's a good doc. It's eye-opening for most of y'all. Some of us were pretty much up on just about everything. One of the other points that Ant makes that I wanted to say was this. There have been recent allegations about sexual misconduct, and ironically, the interviews take place well before that, and then you're just kind of left with like, well, what now? But Vince did resign, and you all can make your own assumptions after seeing it, but it's entertaining, it's good. You know, when you watch docs about people, typically, at least I'll speak for myself, I want them to be people of notoriety, of some degree of importance, and a lot of athletes that get docs, I think, are deserving of that. This individual is both an athlete, an entertainer. I wanted to say both, but again, arguably the greatest promoter of all time. He's a fucking exceptional business person. Now, some of that means that he has some shortcomings, I think, in his professional life, and you get to see some of that too, the relationship with primarily his son and also his daughter and his wife and all that, but it's interesting. Ant says, tell them the dirty deeds of the allegations. That'll make them watch. Sadly, I don't know what they are. I'm not the best person to speak to it. They weren't in my notes here, kiddo. I wasn't intending to do that, but Ant says, you can tell him he won't tell us the full story of his childhood. That's true. So I will say this, because this came up in another conversation I had with my brother Russ. I believe that so many of us are products of our upbringing and a direct reflection of our parents and perhaps their influence on our childhood and or early life. And so Vince's father was a wrestling promoter. And so he very much grew in his father's footsteps, but his dad wasn't around early on. And so I think, honestly, that Vince started out in the hopes of garnering the attention and the affection of his dad. And what's really sad, and this is kind of a spoiler, but I'll tell it to you, is that Vince's son, Vince Jr.'s son, okay, because his father was also Vince, lives the same story, okay? Appreciate that Vincent Kennedy grows up in the shadow of his father, Vince McMahan, ends up taking over the business and makes it bigger than anybody thought that it would be. Shane McMahan grows up in the same business. Now, I don't think he has the aspirations to make it bigger, but I'm guessing, and I think they touch on this in the film, in the doc, he probably imagines that he's next in line to take over at some point. You know, the torch will be passed down. But more than anything, I think he just wants the attention and the love of his dad. Now, he grew up with his dad, unlike Vince Kennedy. But based on the doc, he never really gets that. And poor Shane. I mean, if you know Shane as like a wrestler, which is a very loose description, he's known for doing some really like wild stunts, like jumping off the Jumbotron. And when you see it in the doc form, it's like, man, he did all that to get his dad's attention and some affection. And ironically, he says in the doc, Shane does, that those were the days where I got the hug. You know what I mean? And it's sad that children kind of... Anyway, we got real deep on y'all there. I'm going to have to read the chat. Here we go. Held in sexually based terms. Now, I can allow these. Sorry, Ant. Looks like you're being modded. We're going to allow it, and we're going to allow it. We're all grown-ups here. Ant says, yeah, he was beaten, stepfather, all that. My guess is he also had other things done to him. Damn. Aww. Chances are, you know. And sometimes, look, not for nothing, I'm just going to say it. I think one of the reasons why Michael Joseph Jackson was as amazing as he was because of some of that hard upbringing and some of the tragic things that happened to him. Sometimes it does breed greatness to a degree. I'm not saying that it's a prerequisite, but sometimes you can channel all that. All right. He also says, then his sister gets the reins. He's talking about Shane's sister, Stephanie, I suspect. Sister marries a wrestler. Shout out to Triple H. That wrestler takes over. Shane is in the wings, but yeah, Shane gets choked up in the doc too. Side note, I think Shane is about to buy AEW. Bang, and start his own shit. Shout out to Shane McMizzle. I wish I had hit. Matter of fact, do me a favor, and Shadow, if you're there, you'll know how to do this. I added a feature to the channel. It's called Sound Alerts. And you can, just like the channel redemption points, you can now play sounds using bits. Now, bits are the kind of currency of Twitch. You do exchange real money to get bits, but it's a way of supporting your streamer, okay? Aww. But what's cool is you can redeem those bits for sound. I just want to know if the icon is displayed. It should be on the right-hand side of your screen. If you're on mobile, I'm not sure how it looks, but if you're watching on a computer, Shadow says yes. So they are there? Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, so if you're on a computer, it should show up on the right-hand side, and now you can click that icon and redeem bits for other sounds. And I do think the reason this came to my mind, Ant, you'll like this. Here comes the money. I think it's in there, man. I think it's in there. Chucha says yes. All right, thank you both so much. So there you go. Again, we're always trying to add new features. Things are going to get better and better.
You just keep getting better and better.
All right. To conclude this segment, ladies and gentlemen, that was your movie series review and the pick of the week. AeroRising says, new allegation details. Here we go. I was going to segue. You're bringing me on back. Just like, yeah. Okay. You pull me back in. Essentially, McMahan had an ex-employee, a sexual relationship with her, sexually trafficked her to other workers and friends, text messages, allegations that he would watch guys defecate on her. Ew. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's what she said. Allegedly, okay? Allegedly. All right. Yeah, it's a bad look for old Vince, sadly. Here's another meme for you. I hope y'all know Dave Chappelle, okay? If you don't know who that is, we got a real problem. But anyway, there's a bit from one of his stand-ups where I think he's actually talking about Michael Jackson. And the bit, the punchline is like, I'm not saying he did it, but even if he did, you know what I mean? And somebody used that clip to reference the allegations about McMahan. And I just found that kind of funny. Because, you know what I'm saying? As a wrestling fan, look, we don't have wrestling as we know it without Vince McMahon. And so the joke, and look, let me say very publicly and clearly, I'm not endorsing or condoning sexual assault, sexual trafficking, none of that shit, okay? So that should go without saying. But it was funny in the context in which I saw it, okay? I'm not saying he did it, but even if he did, you know what I mean? All right, anyway. AeroRising says, paid her, she had an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement, stopped paying her, and that's when she came out. Well, yeah, if you renege on the deal, that's what's gonna happen, baby. Chucha says, I hope not. Of course not, silly. But even if he did, you know what I mean? No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your pick of the week. Just because I have the opportunity, Mr. McMahon, shout out, man. Not all the sexual allegations, but for the wrestling shit, my guy, you got no chance.
No chance, so that's what you got. Up against a machine too strong. Pretty politicians buying souls for run song puppets.
Puppets.
Won't find their place in line. But I straight go wrap your finger now, boy, cause it's just a matter of time. Cause you got no chance. No chance at all. You got.
I know people coming back from break are like, what the fuck is going on here? If you're just tuning in, we just talked about the new Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. Chip. And that was this week's Mega Movie Series Review. Now, Mom, this doesn't just affect you, but I hope that you dig what I'm about to tell you, girl, because we're always trying to get better and better.
You just keep getting better and better.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of this show, old Shadow, he's pulling me back into the world of gaming, and we want to try to expose our brand and the community to other viewers, and maybe gaming is a way to do that, okay? Particularly on Twitch, because it is ultimately a game streaming platform, though we have talk shows and other things. Why am I saying all this? Well, because, Mom, you have reminded me over the years that there is one game in particular that you thoroughly enjoyed playing. And you know where I'm going with this. It was a fishing game, ladies and gentlemen. It was a fishing game. She said, yeah, fishing. I loved that she loved it. You could cast the line. The controller vibrated when the fish hit the bait, and it was fun, and we played it for a little while, and I loved that you loved it, and you really did. You enjoyed like the experience of that game, whereas most games you don't get into, particularly fighting games and MMOs, but this one was cool. Well, guess what, darling? I came across, look, there's a fish emoji. Love that. Love that. Well timed, and so timely. I came across a widget for our live stream that is essentially a fishing game. So this is just a teaser, okay? I didn't have the time. I promise you, I did a lot to prepare for this show. In fact, you're about to see some of the new features in just a second. But I hope maybe next week we introduce a fishing game, and this is how it works, and I'll explain it again once it goes live, but this is my understanding of it. You know how we have channel redemption points, so you earn points by watching, or coins that you toss to your Witcher? Well, one of the channel redemptions is the ability to fish, and on screen there'll be a little bubble or a circle, and you'll cast your line and you'll have the opportunity to fish out whatever is in that pond. But it's a cute way to keep you all engaged. Use more of those coins, and because I know that's important to you and the fishing game was fun, that's what we're going to do. All right, so stay tuned. We're going to go fishing. Dad, you dig it, right? AeroRising says, salmon of Capistrano. If you know, you know, where the women instinctively flock. She says she likes it. Bang. Listen, we have a theme on this show. I know I've hit the button several times, but it is certainly appropriate because we're about to make the next segment just a little bit better. Russ says, fishing is good, Penn. Look at you, man. Love that. Hey, I'll tell you what, you bring that up when the fishing game goes live, and I'll tell the world why that used to be my nickname, all right? But I'm very excited for this, so I hope it works. Let me just say that. And then I hope you dig it, okay? So look, the next segment is The Witcher Read. And let me do this. Thank you for reminding me, Ryan. Again, R&B and Ryan, we're all doing the same thing. Remember, I stumbled upon another Twitch category, rightfully reading aloud. And so I'm going to do my best to change. AeroRising says, can you dig it, sucker? Shout out to old Booker T. All right, so I'm doing this on the fly. God, I hope nothing disrupts. All right, Shadow, if you're there, man, let me know if things work. Reading font. Wait for it. There it is. Nope. Here we go. Writing and reading, and then go done. And now my stream info has been successfully updated. Awesome. So I think that we have just changed our category from the talk show podcast to reading, so that hopefully people that dig reading aloud will now find our channel. You see what I'm saying? Shame I didn't know that existed before, but you learn as you go, team. You learn as you go. You ready? Tell me if you dig this. Let's go! Come on, that was cool, right? New stinger transition. The Witcher. You might also notice up top, we've got some new Goal Widgets, huh? Chucha says, yes, cool. AeroRising says, it was cool send for me, for sure. Does that mean you're leaving? That was your send-off? Yeah, all good. Listen, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but if you were watching and now you're considering leaving, oh no. Don't do it, Ant. It's all right. Listen, come back, bro. Pause. Because we're giving away $64. All right, now you got to be in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be here. So it does behoove you to come on back. He also says, I got to work out. I lost my belt. I feel you, bro. One of these. Sorry about you. Got to train. That's where you hit him with the Rocky montage. Maybe that's your next segment, dog. Because you're leaving.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part of the show.
Right? I know, Bischoff. Okay. Look, man, have a great workout. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Far too
The contributions, the segment, you know what I mean? All that jazz, the montage, the list goes on. But if you want to win that $64, you got to come on back. All right. We're going to change these lights up like the Undertaker would. I'm going to raise them up. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Y'all see what I was trying to do there? Time it just right. Yeah. AeroRising says, if I win it, I'm keeping it. Y'all don't want that. Daddy needs a new recliner. I would not be mad at you personally. Frankly, whoever wins that money, you're welcome to take it because I got to keep doubling it up. All right. If you would, ladies and gentlemen, toss a coin for me. It's been a minute.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh.
All right. If you happen to still be with us, this is the part of the show where we read aloud The Witcher. And we're on book 2, which is titled, as you see on screen, Time of Contempt. Now, some of you may be new and therefore may not know where we are in the story. So before we begin every reading, I give you RMB's Witcher recap.
Toss a coin.
You mentioned coin.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Wait for it. Yeah, good on you. Love that. You know what it is? The chat is still lit.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Thank you so much for that, Mom. I know it's your favorite segment, darling, and I love that you love it. Dad, I think you like it too. That's awesome. That's good enough for me. And now that we've updated our category on Twitch, maybe we'll get a couple other people in here that enjoy the book as much as we do. And if not, that's totally cool. Listen, reading is dope, all right? And it gives me an excuse to act a little bit and try out these voices, all right? Laugh that out. Hey. So, your Witcher recap. Now, sadly, I have to vent a little bit. For some reason, chapter 1 is quite lengthy.
That's what she said.
All jokes aside, it's a very long chapter, and I'm not sure why the author chose to do it like this. So, we haven't finished chapter 1. This is part 7. Okay? We've had 7 episodes this season, season 2, second book. And so it's still chapter 1. In the last reading, and I'll do my best to give you the overview as well as I can recall it. Previously, we met Codringher and Fenn. Okay? These are attorney types, if you will. And Geralt, the Witcher, he goes to them in the hopes of, I think he's asking for help. Basically, people are looking for Ciri. Ciri is the princess of Cintra. And I think whoever's looking for her wants her out of the picture so that they can have Cintra. It's the best I got for you. Codringher and Fenn are partners, and they know a lot, and they're savvy and sharp-witted, and the goal, I think, for them is to outsmart whomever is looking for Ciri by either suggesting that she's already dead, or the real Ciri is not the girl that they think they are. And so in the last reading, first of all, one of the things that Codringher does is he propositions Geralt to work for him, and Geralt respectfully declines. So that's out. The other thing that is suggested from the last reading is that there's another girl who looks a lot like Ciri, and maybe they use her as kind of bait to get whomever is looking for Ciri to think that she's really Ciri, so as to no longer be looking for the real Ciri. But I think that is also refused by Geralt because he's a man of principles and he doesn't want to do that. So I know it's not a lot to give you as far as recap. There hasn't been a lot of juiciness, so to speak, that has happened so far. Other than wonderful dialogue, these characters are being developed for us in the story. But basically, at the start of the book, there was a carrier of sorts who was delivering messages between kingdoms, and that was important for some reason. And then Ciri, who I think is the princess and growing up, she was in the care of Yennefer, and also Geralt, I believe. And then Geralt goes to Codringher and Fenn, and that's where we've been for the last several readings. And so that's where we're going to pick up today. Shadow says, need to run. I'll be back in a few. All right, Brody, will you do that? Please keep me online if you can. If not, that's all right. But come on back for the keyword giveaway contest. Mom, if you're there, you're probably the resident expert, in addition to myself, on these matters. How was that review or recap? Did I do it okay? I know you're here, baby. Was the recap sufficient? We good enough, you think? Get a little shot of Red Bull. Get my energy up. It was sufficient. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you. Far too
I'm laughing because you could have said something better than sufficient. It was adequate, Ryan. Okay? It was fair at best. It's all right. I hear you. Sadly, I don't think enough has happened to give a great recap. All right, one time for me. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your Witcher recap.
You mentioned coin.
Your Witcher recap.
All right. I don't remember exactly where we left off. First of all, it was a couple of weeks ago. Chucha says, it was as in-depth as the anime. Mom, come on. You're a woman of culture. Anime is beloved. Beloved? That's a joke from Ellen. Anime is loved the world over, okay? Now, I share some of your sentiments. It's not really for me either. I don't dig animation as much as I dig real life cinema, if I could say it that way. But it's storytelling in its own right, and it's good, and there's romance and adventure and all that. Hey, I give you the news with a twist. It's just his point of view. Do you dig the new potions up top? Do you see those up there? So hopefully you can read them. One is our subscriber goal, which sadly is a bit low. Okay, 2 out of 10. But our follower goal is up. And she digs it. And the pretty purple one, which I'm hoping you get to see at some point, that's our bit goal. And remember, you can now redeem bits for other cool sound alerts. So I'm not asking you to donate money. I'm just saying if you wanted to make the stream even more entertaining and engaging, you could. You buy the bits and then you redeem the bitch on the show. The bitch. You redeem the bitch. That's what you do with it. Come on, that was funny. Auto mod. What is this? Thrillberg. Best viewers on. We're going to deny that. Deny. Our auto mod detected some kind of, I don't know, bullshit in the chat, if I could say it that way. All right. Anyway, I'm trying to liven up the show. We've got potions because of The Witcher, right? He drinks potions. And so there you go. People that were tuning in from this new category are like, he ain't doing no kind of live reading. What kind of false advertising? No, we're about to. All right, so just picking up from where we might have left off. Okay, I gotta go back a page because it never makes sense. Okay, you might remember that Codringher is playing with what he refers to as an Orion, which in my mind is like a ninja star, okay, quite frankly. And they have a bet, remember? And Geralt's like, you can hit me, and he doesn't. So if you recall, maybe we pick it up, and this is how it sounds. Not bad, eh? Grinned the lawyer. It's called an Orion. A foreign invention. I've been practicing for a month. I never miss now. It might come in useful. This little star is unerring and lethal at 30 feet, and it can be hidden in a sleeve or stuck behind a hatband. Orions have been part of the Nilfgaard Secret Service equipment for a year now. Ha! If Renice is spying for Nilfgaard, it would be amusing if they found him with an Orion in his temple. What do you say to that? Nothing. That's your business. 250 crowns are lying in your drawer. Sure, said Codringher, nodding. I treat your words to mean that you're giving me a free hand. Let's be silent for a moment, Geralt. Let's honor Renice's imminent death with a minute's silence. Why the hell are you frowning? Have you no respect for the majesty of death? I do. Too great a respect to listen to idiots mocking it. Have you ever thought about your own death, Codringher? The lawyer coughed heavily and looked for a long time at the handkerchief in the front of his mouth. He raised his eyes. Of course, he said quietly. Of course I have. Intensively at that. But my thoughts are nothing to do with you, Witcher. Would you ride to Angkor? I will. Ralph Blunden, a.k.a. the Professor, Himio Cantor, Little Yaksa, do these names mean anything to you? No. All three are pretty handy with a sword. Better than the Michelettes. So I would suggest a more reliable, long-range weapon. These Nilfgaardian throwing stars, for example, I'll sell you a few if you like. I have plenty of them. No thanks. They're impractical, noisy in a fight. The whistling has a psychological element. They're capable of paralyzing their victim with fear. Perhaps, but they can also warn them. I'd have time to dodge it. I don't always know who's speaking. If you saw it being thrown at you, you could. I know you can dodge an arrow or a quarrel, but from behind? Bullshit. Let's try a wager. Oh. Let's try a wager, said Geralt coldly. I'll turn my face to the portrait of your dullard of a father, and you throw an Orion at me. Should you hit me, you win. Should you not, you lose. Should you lose, you'll decipher those elven manuscripts. You'll get a hold of the information about the child of the elder blood, urgently and on credit. And if I win? You'll still get that information, but you'll pass it on to Yennefer. She'll pay. You won't be left out of pocket. Codringher opened the drawer and took out another Orion. You don't expect me to accept the wager. It was a statement, not a question. No, smiled the Witcher. I'm sure you'll accept it. Could have done that better. No, said the Witcher. I'm sure you'll accept it. A daredevil, I see. Have you forgotten? I don't have any scruples. I haven't forgotten. After all, the time of contempt is approaching, and you keep up with the progress and the zeitgeist. But I took your accusations of anachronistic naivety to heart, and this time I'll take the risk, though not without hope of profit. What's it to be then? Is the bet on? Yes. Codringher took hold of the steel star by one of its arms and stood up. Curiosity always won out over good sense in me, not to mention unfounded mercy. Turn around. The Witcher turned around. He glanced at the face on the portrait, riddled with holes, and with the Orion sticking into it. And then he closed his eyes. The star whistled and thudded into the wall 4 inches from the frame of the portrait. Damn it! And blast! Roared Codringher. You didn't even flinch, you whore son. Geralt turned back and smiled, quite hideously. Why should I have flinched? I could hear you aiming to miss. And that's where we left off the last time. I forgot, but now I recall. Here we are. We're moving on, and let's see if we have a nice stopping point. Chucha says, hey. Hey to you, babe. Hey to you. All right. Again, there's not like a solid stopping point or break, so we're just going to do it, and in order to do it right, I need y'all to toss a coin to your witcher.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh.
All right. The inn was empty. A young woman with dark rings under her eyes sat on a bench in the corner, bashfully turned away to one side. She was breastfeeding a child. A broad-shouldered fellow, perhaps her husband, dozed alongside, his back resting against the wall. Someone else, whose features Applegot couldn't make out in the gloom of the inn, sat in the shadows behind the stove. The innkeeper looked up, saw Applegot, noticed his attire and the badge with the arms of Adern on his chest, and his face immediately darkened. Applegot was accustomed to welcomes like that. As a royal messenger, he was absolutely entitled absolutely entitled to a mount. The royal decrees were explicit. A messenger had the right to demand a fresh horse in every town, village, inn, or farmyard. And woe betide anyone who refused. Naturally, the messenger left his own horse and signed a receipt for the new one. The owner could appeal to the magistrate and receive compensation. But you never knew. AeroRising says, I don't know about Applegot, but Anthony gotta go work out. My man. Good one. Brody, I appreciate you being here, man. We're only gonna read a little bit longer, and then we're going to give away some money. So if you want to come on back. He says, LOL, I just been stalling because I need to use the bathroom. But you never knew. Thus, a messenger was always looked upon with dislike and anxiety. Would he demand a horse or not? Would he take our Golda, never to be seen again? Or our beauty, reared from a fowl? Our pampered Ebony? Applegot had seen sobbing children clinging to their beloved playmate as it was being led out of the stable, saddled, and more than once had looked into the faces of adults, pale with the sense of injustice and helplessness. Aww. He's taking their fucking horses, guys. He's taking them. Mom, are you saddened by this? I had a pony. I don't need a fresh horse, he said. This is a good word. Brusquely. Brusquely? I'm going to spell it in case we have any friends to look it up for us. Brusquely. Brusquely. It's a new one to me. I mean, I could infer, but... I don't need a fresh horse, he said brusquely. It seemed to him the innkeeper sighed with relief. I'll only have a bit to eat. The road's given me an appetite, added the messenger. Anything in the pot? There's some gruel left over. I'll serve you directly. Sit you down. Needing a bend? Nights are falling. Applegot thought it over. He had met Handsome. It's spelled strangely. It's someone's name, mind you. Applegot thought it over. He had met Handsome 2 days before. He knew the messenger, and they had exchanged messages as ordered. Handsome took the letters and the message for King Demavend and galloped off through Temeria and Mahakam to Vengerberg. Applegot, meanwhile, having received the messages from King Visimir of Redania, rode towards Oxenfurt and Trotagor. He had over 300 miles to cover. Chucha says, it means something done in a rude or brusque manner. Bang! I love that you looked that up for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Brusquely. Something done in a rude or brusque manner. I'm still not sure what fucking brusque means. Brusque? How many times you heard brusque used in the last century? I just, it's fine. I'll eat and be on my way, he declared. The moon is full and the road is level. As you will. The gruel he was served was thin and tasteless, but the messenger paid no attention to such trifles. At home, he enjoyed his wife's cooking, but on the road, he made do with whatever came his way. He slowly slurped it, clumsily gripping the spoon in fingers made numb from holding the reins. Chucha says, more often than you think. If you heard it once, it would be more often than I think. Watch this. That's brusque, baby. If you know, you know. Brisk. It was a Lipton iced tea. A cat that had been snoozing on the stove bench suddenly lifted its head and hissed. "A royal messenger?" Applegot shuddered. The question had been asked by the man sitting in the shadows. Let's read that again now that I know who's saying it. That's not brusque. I know it isn't brusque, baby. Just sounds similar. All right, so this is a guy in the shadows. Shadow? A royal messenger? Applegot shuddered. The question had been asked by the man sitting in the shadows, who now emerged to stand beside him. His hair was as white as milk. He had a leather band stretched across his forehead and was wearing a silver-studded leather jacket and high boots. The pommel of the sword slung across his back glistened over his right shoulder. "Where does the road take you?" "Wherever the royal will send me," asked Applegot coldly. He never answered any other way to questions of that nature. The white-haired man was silent for some time, looking searchingly at the messenger. He had an unnaturally pale face and strange, dark eyes. "I imagine," he finally said, in an unpleasant, somewhat husky voice. Let's give him a little husky voice. "The royal orders. The royal orders you to make haste. Probably in a hurry to get off, are you?" I don't know if we went into an ad break or not, but Chucha, you're a subscriber. Hopefully you're not seeing them. Let me know if you're in an ad break and I will pause for the cause. "I imagine," he finally said in an unpleasant, somewhat husky voice, "the royal will orders you to make haste. Probably in a hurry to get off, are you?" She says, "There was an ad break, but it's over. Thank you so much." You don't see ads, I hope, right? Because you're a subscriber? I know you're with Dad, and maybe you know because of that. I just want to make sure that the reading isn't disrupted for you. Otherwise, I need to know. Shouldn't have any more. "What business is it of yours? Who are you to hasten me?" "I'm no one," said the white-haired man, smiling hideously. She said, "Not me." Dad gets him. I figured that. Thank you for telling me. And Dad, sorry about you, man, but listen, you can subscribe, dog, and then you get it. You know what I'm saying? "What business is it of yours? Who are you to hasten me?" "I'm no one," said the white-haired man, smiling hideously. "And I'm not hurrying you. But if I were you, I'd leave here as quickly as possible. I wouldn't want anything ill to befall you." Applegot also had a tired and tested answer to comments like that. And it's not tired, it's tried. Applegot also had a tried and tested answer to comments like that. Russ says, "I might subscribe if I win the secret word money. Hey! I wouldn't be mad at you if you did, man. And I hope you and Mom take it home, all right?" Short and blunt. Let me back it up. Applegot also had a tried and tested answer to comments like that. Short and blunt. Not aggressive. Calm. But emphatically reminding the listener who the royal messenger served and what was risked by anyone who dared touch him. But there was something in the white-haired man's voice that stopped Applegot from giving his usual answer. I must let my horse rest, sir. An hour, maybe 2. Indeed, nodded the white-haired man, upon which he lifted his head, seeming to listen to the sounds which reached him from outside. Applegot also pricked up his ears, but heard only crickets. Then rest, said the white-haired man, straightening the sword belt which passed diagonally across his chest. But don't go out into the courtyard. Whatever happens, don't go out. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that might be a very cool pause for next week's reading, we figure out what happens in the courtyard. And old Apple God, yeah? Do me a favor, toss a coin one time.
Coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Oh.
All right, before we say farewell.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
I'm gonna play it up here. Hit me one time. Come on, you get it? All right. Now look, I love y'all. Do you want me to keep reading? If you're into it, if you're enthralled, if we're about this life, I will continue. Otherwise, we have been streaming for 2 hours and 42 minutes. And we still have some money to give away, and I don't want to hold y'all. It's only Saturday, and you're giving me all of your morning.
Thank you.
So what say ye? Shall we read a few more sentences or paragraphs? Or okay, Chucha says no, I gotta do some stuff. I feel you. All right, let me see if I can snap this back into reality. Not bad. Do me a favor, just try to appreciate the transition one time. Cool. The Witcher. So that's new. We're trying to get better and better. Tell him, Sheldon.
You just keep getting better and better.
All right. So let me set this up for you all. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. No, we got it all covered pretty much. Chucha says, it's awesome. Thank you for saying that. I thought of you. I thought you would dig the magical sigils and the runes and all of that. Shadow! Poor A&T. And I think he's at the gym. He's probably not going to be here, so sorry about ya. All right, for anybody that is watching that hasn't seen the show recently, it's time for the keyword giveaway. Oh, he's here. He's here. He want to tell y'all you got no chance.
No chance, so that's what you got.
Okay. I'm about to change scenes one more time, and we're going to give away some money on screen. So let's just do that, and let me change my category. And we are just, you know what? It's still a talk show.
Oh my God! Okay,
That's
it's
right.
happening. Everybody
It's
stay
happening.
calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Love that. All right, switching it up. Look at that. So I still got the pink mist in there. Just changing it up on you every now and again. Keeping you on your toes. All right. So, what's going on, Rye? What do we do? How do we do it? How do we win? I'm so glad you asked. In just a moment, I am going to tell you and show you today's keyword. Then I'm going to run it, and you will have all of about a minute or so to enter that word. So it's not like it's a secret phrase or anything. I tell you what it is, and you just have to type it. You don't have to be the first person to type it. You just have to type it in the chat while the game is running. Then we're gonna stop it after the timer goes off, and we are gonna roll it. All right, and one of you lucky individuals are going to go home with $64. Now, the theme of this contest is you can take it or we can double it up and we will give it to the next winner. So far, every single winner has elected to roll it. 64 though. Now, I'd be cool if you want to let it ride and we get to the triple digits. That would be a hell of a promo. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we get some new viewers in here tuning in for, 100 or more. Okay? But it is entirely up to you. Fret not. If you want that $64, you gonna get it. And I think the easiest way for me to do that is probably through PayPal, maybe Zelle if you're about that life. And for my Norwegian connects, we will use Vips. This segment is sponsored by Vips. No. All right, now I should also acknowledge this fun fact. Subscribers have a 2-time chance of winning, not one, but two. So yes, that means if you are a subscriber, your odds are ever in your favor. So AeroRising, Russ Barber, sadly, you're at a slight disadvantage here because both Chucha and Shadow are subscribed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
But that's okay. Now I'm gonna give you a second or two if you want to lock in, increase your odds. You know what I mean? You ain't got to though. Ant says he's feeling lucky. He's a lucky boy. All right, cool. So that's it. And the Billie Jeans. Go ahead. Ant says could just be his stomach. I'm feeling lucky. Could just be my stomach. All right. I also wanted to take an opportunity. I don't think he's here, but I did want to acknowledge the last winner for this contest. Oh, Carmen Sandiego. Welcome to the chat, darling. I thought she left. She says, well, I did win the movie preview challenge. You certainly did. And congratulations again. And speaking of winners, the last time we hosted the contest, my guy, GunnArmy, was the winner. And he elected to let it ride. So, congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations to all of our winners thus far. And I wish every single one of you the very best of luck today. All right, now, maybe there's some people that have been watching and just never said hi in the chat. This is your opportunity to make your presence known because you do have to enter the keyword in order to be eligible to win. Okay, that's fair. So I know some of y'all are like, man, stop running out the clock, man. We're ready to play. Let's do this thing. Carmen says, didn't leave just at work. Well, thank you for sticking around.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
I appreciate y'all that are working and keep me on in the background. That's very sweet. Love y'all for it. Aww. Bang. All right. Okay. Typically, the keyword or phrase relates to something that's been going on in the stream. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Sick.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
How cool. So, Russ Barber, thanks to your wife, you are now 2 times potentially luckier. Give it up to Choo-Choo.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Let's go! That was awesome. All right, Choo-Choo Barber, you have... my stream is telling me you have... Oh. Let's go! Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. I don't know who did that. I'm guessing it was Shadow, my good friend and moderator. Carmen says, choo-choo. Let's do it again.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Shadow says, it was your boy. Of course it was. Shadow, we need a soundbite for you, bruh. This doesn't really do it justice, but because it is the theme song that we would play if he won the preview game, I'm just gonna do it to give my guy some acknowledgement. Come on, it's an anime day. This is one of Shadow's favorite animes. All right, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I wish I knew the words. Thank you so much. And thank you for the shout outs. Keep them coming.
That's what she said.
Let's go. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Boom, boom, boom. I am. And therefore, we shall Barber. You may proceed, sir. Today's keyword, in keeping with the way in which we normally do, is the trailer that we showed today. And congrats again to Carmen Sandiego for stripping the title from our 9-time champion. I know he's mad about it. Let's go. And therefore, you don't listen. Some of you are like, oh no, I wasn't here. I didn't know what the word. Don't worry, I got you. The word or the title is sinners. Sinners. Now, don't enter it yet. The game hasn't started. You'll know because that red button will go green, okay? I'm going to set a timer. And I think we've been doing a minute. And so, you know what? A minute goes by awfully slowly when there's only 7 people. So that's what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put a minute on the clock. And when I click the button, you'll all be able to enter today's keyword, which is sinners. S-I-N-N-E-R-S. And you should spell it correctly, but I should see your names populate and you'll know that you have entered. Everybody ready? Yeah, we're ready. All right, cool. And without further ado, your time starts now. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. A minute is now on the clock. And selfless, shameless promo. I did release a new song this week, and here is that snippet one more time.
I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, but I understand. I'm going home, Peter Pan is leaving Neverland. Yeah. You'll be alright, Tinkerbell.
Stand by your man.
Captain Hook with the no look, with my other hand. I'm not a bad guy, man. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing. I'm a decent person. For what it's worth, I'm really sorry for the trouble, dog. I should have walked away a long time ago and just cut her off. I couldn't.
Give it up for your boy. Come on, it's a sweet song. Check that out on SoundCloud, R&B, Ryan M. Barber, as you see on screen. That is us. Ladies and gentlemen, I think everyone in the chat, you have 10 seconds. I've got AeroRising, Carmen Sandiego, Chucha Barber, Russ Barber, and Shadow 1311. All of y'all are eligible. 3, 2, and that is it. I don't know why y'all were typing it twice. I guess it was because you weren't sure. Don't worry. You're good, folks. I don't think capitalization plays a factor. If it does, you're covered. Don't even worry about it. So one more time, uppercase, bang. I want to give shout out to each and every one of you. I think I can say definitively, you all are my greatest supporters. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So on my end, again, the names that I see that are eligible to win this week are AeroRising, Carmen Sandiego 04, Chucha Barber, Russ Barber, and Shadow 1311. Give it up. Give it up to each one of y'all. And subscribers have a 2-time chance of winning. And I think that's Russ Barber, Chucha Barber, and Shadow 1311. Russ Barber, you're a subscriber thanks to Chucha.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
AeroRising says, I'm going to give a portion of my winnings to Hurricane Helene relief. At least 5%. Somehow, I really, really doubt that. Doesn't matter what the dollar amount was, you ain't giving 5% of that shit, man. And honestly, who are we relieving? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know somebody and you could, like, really help them out, like, let me buy you a cup of coffee dinner or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Then that's dope. But don't give that money to some charity. You don't know where that shit's going. I mean, fuck, you better off rolling it, dog. All right. Y'all ready? I am. I know you're excited, and thank you for sticking around. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You far too kind. Let's do this. Chucha says, give it to me. I'll send it on in for you. See? That's what friends do, man. That's what family does. All right. I love y'all. I know. I do. I mean that. Here we go. The lo-fi kicks in. We're going to roll it. We're going to roll the drums, and we are going to figure out which one of you all is this week's winner. Best of luck. Who's it going to be? Oh, Chucha Barber!
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Yeah! Congratulations, Mom. You deserve that. You gave the subscription, increased the odds, and you still won. Well done. Now the question is, the world wants to know, is she gonna take it, or is she gonna double it up and give it to the next winner? She says, let it roll! Honestly, that's awesome. Okay, y'all know the game, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I ain't no mathematician and nothing, but that will hopefully garner a little bit of an audience next week. We'll see. And if it doesn't, that's a damn shame. You know what I'm saying? If I can't give away $100 in change and not get people, like, what would it take? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do shit. You just have to hang out with me for a couple hours. I mean, I get it, but it goes in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Walk around with it. You don't even got to watch the whole show. Just come on back. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just feels a little. I know. I am hoping that the gaming, that might get some people in here. You dig that? Shadow says 64 plus 64 is. Let me get my fucking calculator out. I don't do that to me, Shadow. I don't know it. Okay. I don't want to say the wrong thing. It ends with an 8. Let me say that much. 128? Is it 128? Tell me if I'm wrong. There you go. I got that right. Whew. You know, I'm so scarred from my mathematic experiences that, you know, when you're taking an exam and you know the answer, and for some reason you just start second guessing yourself over and over, and now you feel like I don't really know what's real anymore. That's what happens to me when math comes into play. It's like I feel like I'm so bad at this that even the simple shit, I overthink it. I'm like, well, that can't be right. It's too easy. You came to the answer too fast, blah, blah, blah. So I did. I had a very bad teacher, sadly. And I wasn't alone. And I don't remember her name, and I'm glad I don't, because I didn't even want to give her the due recognition. But she did. She really hurt us, man. Anyway, it's fine. Good news is they also lied to us, children. They told us, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket when you're older. Joke is on y'all. So whatever. I'll never forget your calculator on your desk. Shit would be like 7 times 3 and you're hitting that shit like you're doing taxes. Yeah, fuck yeah. First of all, I'm faster with my fingers than I am with my math mind. Words I like. I could play with words. Chucha says, wanted to kick her ass. You tell her, Mom. All right? Miss Simmons? No, it wasn't Miss Simmons. Shout out to Miss Simmons one time. Amy Simmons. I don't think that's her name anymore. She's married, I'm sure. But no, and Carmen, that's right. We had a math class together, and I think you as well as everyone else can attest to my lack of proficiency in that subject matter, sadly. But no, it wasn't Miss Simmons. He said, Aunt says, Miss Simmons want to do something with her. Laugh it up. We sat in the front. We did. One of us sat in the front by choice, and the other one was required to sit in the front. I'll let you tell it, girl. Didn't help worth a damn. I'm like, did you know that some of those are letters? Why the fuck math equations got letters in them? All right, Chucha says she sent you to night school. That happened too. God damn. The world is telling Ryan's business. I had to go to adult education for one of my math classes. Anyway, it's fine. That ended up being a very cool experience. If you've never been to adult ed, and I'm sure most of you haven't, it's a party, y'all. I mean, it is a fucking party. Anyway, yes, Ryan sucks at mathematics. I'm happy to be the first person to acknowledge that. Aunt says, don't need math for sales. You ain't never lied. And if I did, I just sell you why you don't. You know what I'm saying? All right. Oh, I need to. Chucha says, it's still 128 to you. It is. All right. I'm snipping this. You can see me do it. That's cool. Capture. Because we're going to use that next week. And now I didn't forget to do it because that has happened once or twice. So let's go on and switch it up back to the live. What if you sold calculators, though? I like your style, G. Bring it all around. Shadow says, bro, I would get marked off for not showing my work and just giving the correct answer on my test as if I was cheating. I feel you, man. I feel you. You have to show your work in order for us to know you really do. Like, shut your ass up because you can't do it. I got to do it like that. And I've heard, I don't know for sure, but they have like a new math and there's like a new way of showing your work. And it's, from what I can tell, which is, don't go on what I'm saying, it's ridiculous. All right. So It's all this. Chucha says, how do I get one of those vials? One of those vials? Do you mean what was on The Witcher? Not sure what you're asking.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
I love that button exists. I did want to say this. Shadow, you need a button, man. We got an ant. Can we come up with something very clever for Shadow? I will go out on a limb and tell you this. We were talking anime as a kid, mind you. I watched a cartoon and I didn't know what it was, but then it hit me. There's a cartoon where it's like, the shadow falls, and I was gonna use that. And I think it's Double Dragon, but I went to find it in the Double Dragon universe and I couldn't. I know, but I thought that would be fun. The shadow, but it didn't. Anyway, Chucha says, the bottles at the top of the screen. The custom vials, Ryan. I'm guessing you mean the ones that were in the Witcher scene. Notice how they're not here, right? They're not in this scene. They were in the Witcher scene. Well, believe it or not, you have contributed to those vials. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that. Watch this. Magic. So notice how our subscriber goal was 2 a little while ago, and now there's a little more HP potion inside of the vial.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Income store items. Now you're talking, Shadow. I like where your head's at. Now, there is a vial that is sadly a bit empty, isn't it? It's a bit empty. And the only way to contribute to that vial is to purchase bits. And ads are incoming. God damn. There's been a lot of ads this episode. But in fairness, we have been streaming. Wait for it. Any guesses? For 3 hours. God damn. AeroRising says, whatever happened to our Lebanon guy, Frank? His name was Jeff. You mean Jeff? It's because you didn't sell him any discs. That's what happened, bro. My name is Jeff. That's topical because of the Channing Tatum. Never mind. I know. Sadly, we never got Jeff back in here, dog. Oh well. Again, we're gonna be streaming the gaming, and I think that will make a difference. All right, switching it back to the live. I hope that those are the vials you were talking about. Maybe we do some merchandise and we can sell you a vial. Maybe we can. None of this is gonna happen. Maybe we get the local glass blowing. There really is a glass blowing place to blow glass, boss, and make these vials, and you can use them for like your coffee and your sugar and your flour. Wouldn't that be dope? And we make a little tag and we brand it. Anyway. Oh! Did the bit goal change? Did anybody notice? 3? I can't see it on my screen. It's a bit small, isn't it?
That's what she said.
Anyway, thank you for that, Shadow.
Thank you. Far
Too kind. All right, going back to the live. Watch this transition, though. Sick.
You just keep getting better and better.
Absolutely we do. What a wonderful show we had today, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, come on, Shadow's cameo in the intro. Matter of fact, put him back up on screen. He deserves it for the bits. Look at that. Aww. Shadow came out to Norway. Bang. We debuted a new song. It's called Kiss Goodbye. It's available now on SoundCloud. Go check that out. We went over the word freelance and where that came from, and every single one of y'all in the chat got that right. Well done. We talked about going forward, we're going to be playing a new game. Wait for it. Throne of Liberty. Right? And then we had Anthony's part of the show. Everybody's favorite segment. Chucha says, are those zodiac signs? I don't know, but they're magical runes. Can you dig it? They might be zodiac signs, as a matter of fact. I didn't make it. We bought that, but it's cool, right? Anyway, I hope you dug the movie preview game. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Miss Carmen Sandiego. She's the new champ, and we're going to play her song next week. Wait for that. And then there was a whole lineup of films, anime, stand-up comedy. Come on, baby. We did so much. Not for nothing. The Witcher reading.
Coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Oh.
Now, it's telling me that the ad break is in progress. Oh, we probably just went to ads, so I lost y'all. But that's all right. I guess I'll kill time for another minute 14. Those of you that are lucky enough to be subscribers, you're still here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
So let's do it one more time, all right? Chucha says, there's an old school song by the Coasters called The Shadow Knows. That's cool. I'd have to hear that. The Coasters. That's a hell of a name. I'm sure it means like coastal, like surfer-esque, right? But when I hear coaster, I'm thinking of like something you put your drink on. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. We're the Coasters. Anyway, I don't know that I've heard the record. No soul, Ryan. You have no soul. I bet the Coasters ain't got no goddamn soul. How about that? Are they brothers and sisters, or are they white folk? You know what I'm saying? Not to say white folk can't have soul, but you know what I'm saying? I'm guessing the latter, but I might not be. Correct? Ad break ends in 4 seconds. They are a black soul group. Well, there you go. There you go. The Coasters. What's the significance of the name then? Is it like the coast, like I imagined? Because I thought surfer for some reason. Coast and surfer. Again, I haven't heard the record. I don't know this group. So I'm curious what the Coasters, like what's the significance of that name? Although, what's in a name? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of bands and groups with strange names that don't mean a thing. Coasting along. Okay. We're the Coasters, man. We're just coasting, bro. I know you said they were a black group, but still. It's an element of cool. Well, shit. Cool changes, and that's cool. Bring it on back. Yo, man, we coasting, dog. Dig that? Coasting. Coast. West Coast. All right, I'm off it. What a show we had. Sorry for the ads. Listen, all that money that we get from those ad breaks, all that money, it's going back to you, and I'm definitely gonna need it when Chucha Barber says, roll it again. Her name is Chucha. What's she doing?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
That's right. Hand claps. I told you it was old school. You did say that, so thank you for that. All right, listen, this was a wonderful show. Matter of fact, I thought talk show and podcast. What happened there? Boom, stream updated successfully. Chucha says, I've always told you there's a song for everything. You certainly have, and I have told you, to the chagrin of my colleagues, I have picked up on that trait, and I often, and Shadow, you can attest this, because we'll be FaceTime, and he'll say something, I'll just start singing the song, because I can't help it, and it'll happen like 3 times in the conversation. He'll be like, bro, stop that. Anyway. Speaking of Shadow, he has encouraged me to give a shot, give a try to Throne of Liberty and Liberty. I keep saying of. You can tell how hardcore of a gamer I am. So we're going to do this, folks, in an upcoming stream, maybe tonight. Don't quote me, but maybe. All right? Your boy might be back. Double header. Could be tomorrow. Could be sometime this week. It won't be the Testing the Game talk show. We testing the game. But we will be, wait for it, testing the game. We testing the game. See what I did there? Chucha says, let me put you on the game, boy. The Coasters. Well, you're welcome to do that, darling. And I love you for it. I love you for it. Send me, I'm going to test your game in a second. I want you to share a link, okay? In Spotify, you can share a song. So you get to the point in Spotify where you can share and then paste that link in our text chat. And then I'll be able to open it up in Spotify. Let's see how you do. Chucha says, an auction house is selling all things from Game of Thrones. Dang, that's pretty cool. I get the relationship between Throne of Liberty and Game of Thrones there, so good on you. I don't know that I have any interest in that. I've never really been one for like authentic paraphernalia and fandom shit. I mean, it would be cool to own something that Michael Jackson owned. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I mean, damn, that would be sick. But there's only a select few things. Like, I don't know, maybe something from The Undertaker. That would be dope too. Like something that he really owned and had. This is the hat that he wore at the 1994 Survivor Series. Like, that shit would be cool. You know what I mean? But outside of that, Snow Sword for 100,000. I figured that was gonna be the number one piece. Pause.
That's what she said.
Yeah, they have a replica of that sword. In fact, shout out to our show, Big Bang Theory, because there's a whole episode about how they buy the sword together and yada yada. Anyway, I don't know that I would want any. You know what would be sick is the hand of the kingpin, like a real one of those. That would be pretty dope. Just something small, you know what I mean? But no one would believe you that it was authentic. I mean, you'd have to keep it in the box and there'd have to be a fucking badge or something there to indicate that. But I don't know. There isn't anything from that show, even though it is arguably the greatest show ever produced. It's just not for me. But thank you. Anyway, Throne and Liberty, ladies and gentlemen, you can expect your boy R&B to be testing the game.
We testing the game.
Oh yeah. Now, whether or not you tune in, it's all good. I would much rather you, and I say this wholeheartedly, I would much rather you tune in to these shows because I desperately need your love and affection and contributions, okay? And I mean that. But also, it's a more fun show. I think there's more in it for you all. With the exception of Shadow, I don't think most of y'all really game. Carmen, I could be wrong, but I know the rest of you don't. And yet, we had a lot of fun, and I want you all to go check out that video. I think it will be amusing for you. It's just about 40 minutes. It's not public yet, so if you're looking for it today, you won't see it, but very soon, because I have his permission, I'm going to make that video public, and you can watch what we went through to, at least partly, to get the game to work, because it was an awful lot, and it was fun, and what we learned is that we can run Discord and have conversations. So while I'm live, we can be talking. So Chucha, we're going to do the book reading. Bang. A&T, if you want to have a guest cameo. Carmen, for that matter. Anybody, really. I'm down for that. So if you have Discord, if you don't have Discord, just download it. It's an app. You can have it on your phone. No mics required. Use your AirPods. Don't. It doesn't matter. It's as easy. It's like FaceTime audio, but we'd be live. How cool is that? So I'm very hopeful. In fact, I have told him this. I'm really not keen on live streaming the game if he doesn't join me on the Discord, at least sometimes, because that adds to the experience. Because I've seen streamers that just play the game and don't say much of anything. It's boring. And I'm not a gamer. You know what I mean? I'm retired. One more again. Although I'm coming out of retirement. For you, I guess, dog. I don't know. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. More to come. Thank you so much for tuning in. Congratulations to both of the ladies. It was a ladies' day. Carmen won the movie preview game, and Chucha won the money. The keyword giveaway. She says, okay, love you. I know you mentioned you had things to do. Sorry, baby, I should have let you go a long time ago. That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to close the show, wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I can't wait for the next one. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. Have a fantastic week. If you want to, join me when we start Throne and Liberty, and we'll have fun doing that. For those of you at work, this is for you.
This was a successful unveiling.
Go back to work. Love y'all. See you in the next one. Peace.
Oh yeah. Feels right in the moment. Don't get left behind. Feels right. It feels right. Yeah. Cheating's better than being lonely. Girl, I give you time. I know it's kinda deep, but it feels right. Moonwalking, the kids smooth talking. I'm chatting her up in the hall in the office. That ass in them pants, I'm on it. And he's so handsome. Sorry. Back at the party scene, shorty, she hot. Hawk tour on my cock. Stop, I'm retarded. Put the chips in my bag and dip like I bought it. Tell him play my record, spin it and restart it. Come here. What good is it sucking in? If you ain't gonna come again, you know that we fucking right.
Again and again, again and again. Yeah. Kamikaze, cocky, no condoms. Fuck around and get broke like no dollars. Run together the sentence, no commas.